Morning, folks. How are we doing? I'm going to start a wee bit early. I think it's only like a minute early or something like that, so nothing too crazy. But I was here, so I thought, well, I'm not going to blankly just stare at my screen for 60 seconds and wait for an arbitrary time. I might as well say hello. So hello to everyone who's here early. Hello to Peach, Redders, Redux, Argocan, Fireproof Flame, Tumor Fish, Unlimited Gamer Works, Egg Bun, Annie Antics, Sunlight, Cousin. How you all doing? Hello to everyone who was here early. Yes, potatoes in chat, everything like that. And yes, Fireproof Flame, 2 streams in one day. Originally, I didn't even know this was meant to be coming out today. I'm sure they put out a schedule a little bit ago. I had to look to see when it was, but I couldn't see when it was. Hello to 53 Nights, Hayden, Luna, Tadas, Kination, Wingy, Shay, Zongli, Sailor. Hello to everyone. So I wasn't actually sure this was coming out today, and originally, I was on my other channel, the Girl World Ireland channel, and I was like, okay, this is a bit boring. The stuff I was trying to do a reaction for. I ended up doing like 5 videos just in a row, and I was like, okay, it's a wee bit much. So I thought I'd do a live stream for that. Literally right after I announced the live stream, they came out and they said second episode's dropping in an hour, and I was like, for God's sake, like, well, I might as well do it today because there's no point doing it tomorrow because I'm going to be busy for the rest of the week. So I might as well just try and quickly get a reaction out to it, especially because it's fresh and I don't want any spoilers. I don't know if he is actually off the panel or what. It's, conflicting information kind of all over the place. So I thought, why not? We'll get into it. I don't want it to be uber long, though. So I decided we're just going to go, you just binge my lives. My lives are generally boring because they're just me rambling away. I'm just saying stuff. So yes, we're going to get straight into it and we're going to try and catch up. Because there's this I want to watch, and then there's also Boblax put out a video as well. Boblax, I just knocked over my drink there. Boblax put out a video there, which is apparently a follow-up to it. So I thought, why not? We'll quickly have a look at that as well. So, yeah, guys, we're just going to get into it. Pulling a shift. I am pulling a shift. I'm a hard worker. As you see, I got about 6 minutes into this, I think. And I decided that I was just... Because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to react to this whatsoever. But then I was like, well, a lot of people watched my first one. And there were people saying, oh, well, we don't intend to watch this at all. We're only going to watch you talk about it. So I was like, well, I'm sure a lot of people are interested. So we might as well just get this done and dust as quick as we possibly can. Captain, thank you very much. I know this isn't cameo, but can you please say... Okay, why am I meant to say one of those words? I don't even know what that song is, so I'm sure this is going to be quoted. So, guys, this is a cameo I'm about to say here, in case anyone clips me out of context. My favorite song is Popo Zayo by Kevin Federline. Is that a bad song? am I going to have a terrible day now because I happen to say that? So, like I said, I don't want to take too long, so we're going to get into it. I got into it, like I said, 6 minutes or so.
Full disclosure,
Sounds good. Okay, so, everyone saw bits and pieces. At the start of this, they do a run-through, and they kind of give a bit of background. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen my other live stream, or watched other people talk about this general drama, or you've watched it yourself. You've watched the Muda Boogie fight, and the arguments, and Tommy C talking about it, so I'm sure you all know, but they do a run-through, so I might as well just cover that anyway.
Chat this soon. My name is Nicholas Diorio, and I'm joined by Turkey.
It was kind of weird for me because I had seen Nicholas Diorio like once. I haven't seen like his face in ages because you use a cartoon avatar just like me as a potato dude. I haven't actually seen it in so long.
Tom and Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers. We're
groveling
the
hands and
the
these Boogie situation clip,
and you'll probably be hearing from us from time to time.
That's
I think
racist.
It would be smart to explain the mechanics of this podcast to you, so we're all on the same page.
I probably should explain because I've talked about my opinion on these three back in the original one. For the farmers, I like Turkey Tom a lot. He's probably my go-to guy for like drama. Even dramas I haven't heard of, I follow him. Turkey Tom.
ThatDarnIrishMan is
he's one of the best. One of the best.
Okay.
Ordinary Gamers, I like Mudahar stuff. I watched this thing recently in The Completionist, that whole drama with the charity. Really interesting. I haven't watched it yet. It's kind of all over the place. It's nothing like watching people on Twitter being like, oh, I'm going to wait until the full story's out and he actually gets to say his word. Because guys didn't even talk to him. Like, Pro Jared came out and was just like, well, you could have at least asked him what happened, even though if you watch the video, like, they actually interview him for the video, and Pro Jared came out and just, like, shit the bed, looked like a fucking idiot, came out, well, you should have talked to him first before making this video, and then he did. Nicholas Diorio, he doesn't produce a lot of content, but the first time I ever heard of Nicholas Diorio was in to do with flamenco. Last year when I was looking at stuff to potentially do a flamenco video. That's the first time I heard of Nicholas Diorio, and I think he's pretty funny. He makes me laugh, so yeah, I like all the three farmers.
Right out of the gate. The 3 cows are all okay. In fact, Wings, Boogie, Tommy...
Please tell me you clipped the soundbite of I never did. I did. It's a certain donation goal. I think it's like, I can't remember. I don't want to say in case I forgot to activate it, but I did. I will have it on at some point. I can't remember if I turned it on already, so I don't want to tell people, donate if you want to hear that or something like that. I don't want to do that, so, you know.
Still the stars of the show, and episode 2 is already recorded and on the way.
Fantastic.
But sometimes, when you work with Lolcows, things get a little messy.
Fantastic.
So myself...
F you, our thing, regarded person, Roger. My favorite bit's the lowercase r. That's just like that's a defeated man there. The lowercase r and the full stop. That is proper defeated.
Tom and Muda basically serve as animal control.
Oh my god.
If an episode doesn't come out on time, you'll probably hear from us. Somebody quits the podcast, one of us will fill that space until
The thing I found weird is that they had so much drama getting it set up, and it's like, bro, like, all 3 of you are streamers. How was this difficult?
a new cow comes to the barn. Live streams, bonus content, all other places that we might show our faces.
Are one of you hacked or something? Here's the Wings file, right? I throw it in here. There's no video. Where is the video?
Oh,
How is
Wings.
there
Oh,
26
Wings.
gigs on a
I never
file
did. I
that's
never
just
did.
audio. And by the way, this audio has all the tracks. These are all the tracks. These are all 3 tracks together. What is up?
That looks like the audio for like my general reaction. I always just look through because I can generally tell because like I'm bad at mixing audio. We all know that, but I generally can look through and I can generally just see the spike. It's like, oh, that's where I started speaking because everything else is so quiet and it's just like just me roaring away.
With this, who is hacked? All right, show more properties. Tommy C's. Let's see, 2 gigabytes.
Lunar Phoenix, Key Max, like Lolcow himself. Sometimes,
Let's
yeah.
see. 26 gigabytes from Wings.
Oh,
and
boy.
Guess what? You click on Tommy's video, it's Tommy and Tommy's audio. You click on Boogie, it's Boogie and Boogie's audio. You click on Mr. Wings, 26 fucking gigs, and it's all 3 tracks.
Boogie is Boogie's worst attractor. That is true. It is just factually true. But then at the same time, you have Boogie like tweeting out saying how he finds it so weird. Because anytime, here's a hint for anyone who's a minor historian. If you ever see Boogie say he's confused by something or he doesn't understand something, that is just him lying. That is just him directly lying because he always does it for the stupidest of shit. Because he's like, I'm always confused when people enjoy seeing like Keemstar and Muda say terrible things to me. And I was like, no, you aren't. You aren't confused by that. You just aren't confused by that. But then of course he does like, but I don't care because it's making me money, guys. And it's just like, it's so weird for you to say that you care, but then also say you don't care in like pretty much the same paragraph. It doesn't really carry across overly well.
Together and no fucking video.
Why didn't they just OBS record them all? Exactly.
Make it make fucking sense.
There are a lot of moving parts.
The thing with Wings is probably why his like after the box match in particular, he kind of dropped off because like he's like on antidepressants and all now. He generally is just a lot more chill. He's just a lot more chill than he used to be. He doesn't like freak out. Like I watched one of the Rage compilations of him recently because it said something like Keem leaks Boogie's Wings leaks Boogie's secret texts. And I was like one text that wasn't even correct, and it was literally like Wings reading a text saying that Boogie was like worried he had messed everything, something like that. It was something innocuous, and that was like the first like 10 seconds of like the 20-minute video, and then the rest of it was just like Wings dying in Call of Duty. And it wasn't like even like funny because he wasn't like screaming, he wasn't shouting, he wasn't losing his shit or anything like that. He wasn't really arguing with people. I was like, oh, okay, is that it? Oh, okay. Hey everyone, Deborah, Arav, Warbler, Alexia.
Parts to this podcast, and we're donating our time to assist when necessary. We want this as much as you do. Which brings me to why we're here today. Something has happened, and I'm here to deliver the context. While we were preparing to record episode 1 of LolcowLive, main host Boogie298...
There's nothing I like more than anytime you see an argument with Boogie, it is generally all just like, you know, limited because Boogie has gone back and just deleted shit.
got into a legitimate internet beef with Farmer.
I actually worried for a second because I was like, I'm pretty sure I screenshot the initial, and I wasn't actually sure if I had or not. And I went and checked, and I actually do have it screenshot. So, like, because originally I had Boogie's, like, or part of Boogie's original tweet, but I didn't actually find the full thing where he directly just, for some reason, just called out Muda, but I actually do have it. Arrogant, thank you very much. I have my wife's ID in my wallet right now because she's left out at the bar, not because I'm manipulative, controlling shit, human groomer. Exactly. It's totally normal for in your house to have your girlfriend's ID. Why wouldn't you? Just in case, I don't know, she gets ID'd by the bouncer at your front door trying to leave or something like that. Not saying that Chad is Boogie's secret bouncer keeping her inside or anything like that.
Mudahar and his wife. This manifested because of some older group chat leaks where several high-profile YouTubers were expressing their disgust with the age gap of Boogie's current relationship a few months ago.
This is why I came out, because I think someone called me out for it, because they're like, oh, you shouldn't really accuse him of being racist for no reason. I was like, I didn't really accuse him of being racist. I just made a point that out of everyone who was shit-talking Boogie in this, like, the only one he went for is Mudahar, very suspiciously.
I'm aware, these weren't public positions, And I don't even think they were current positions.
They're all shitting on him.
Mudahar and Boogie got into it on Twitter.
But only Mudahar got called out. Only Mudahar.
This is what they were discussing, and you should be caught up at least that far. Following this, Boogie had a few more exchanges with Mr. Ordinary Gamers before Muda dropped a massive video on him.
It was a good video.
Boogie, I don't know if you know the definition of ceasefire. Yeah, I probably talked about you and your creepy, weird relationship publicly, but never have I made matter-of-fact statements implying that you are, in fact, a pedophile or you groomed this woman. If you took a private chat, where people, talk shit, talk amongst each other, question things in private as a public statement, then you're actually mentally retarded. But I'm not surprised by that. I think you're a waste of life and a waste of time. And to be honest with you, I hate you. I think you're a manipulative person. I think you're predatory. And honestly, if you don't want to have drama, why do you keep starting?
You can super
This
chat
is a
that.
real drama.
Like, the thing is, Mudahar's right. Like, Boogie starts everything online, especially with Mudahar. Boogie starts so much of it. He started with Jackson from the Ordinary Podcast not the Ordinary Podcast. The Ordinary Podcast last year. I think it was the Ordinary Podcast. Official podcast, sorry. He started with Charlie, even though Charlie wasn't even on the podcast. He was shit-talking. He started with Muda. He starts it with, everyone. And then anytime anyone criticizes him, he's just like, you're punching down at me. You're officially bullying me. It's like that weird tweet he said for Ethan Klein. And Ethan Klein responded on his show. And Boogie's like, oh, so I don't know why he decided to make this public. He could have just messaged me. And it's like, you're the one who tweeted first. Like, what? Boogie has this weird idea what making something public is. Because Boogie was the one who shared the people call it the salvo leaks, I guess. The salvo leaks of Keemstar's group chat. He was the one who shared it to his own audience and then called out Mudahar, and when Mudahar responded, he's like, whoa, why are you making this public? The whole, I never did. Like, listening back to him doing that whole thing, where it's like, I never posted it. I didn't post it. And like, Mudahar's like, I quote tweeted you. He's like, no, you didn't. That was something else. It's like, no, it wasn't.
These people really hate each other, and everything you're about to see is real.
Okay, I'll answer this with Sleepy. Irish, what's the situation with Chad? Is he supposed to be a worker, or is he just there living for free? Boogie has said his girlfriend is working on it. Exactly, that's the biggest problem. Boogie claimed last year in, I think, June-ish time, it was around the police, I believe it was in June, he claimed that Chad was disabled, and he was looking after him now. That was what Boogie originally claimed. Then in October, when he was explaining his finances to do with the begging stuff, he said $1,500 for his employee. That was Chad. Boogie is now just refusing to talk about this in any way. He's like, that's his personal life. I don't want to bring up his personal life. You were the one who brought it up. It's just like the arguments on Twitter. Boogie's the one who brought it up. Boogie's the one who said, I pay this guy $1,500 a month to be basically my butler. And to look after things in the house and take the dogs for walks, take the dogs for poops and stuff like that, and clean up around the house. But now he has Des there for free. So is he still paying Chad? He doesn't mention any of his financial reports or anything like that during the documentary. So I don't really know. I don't know. I just don't know, because Boogie has suddenly decided he no longer wants to talk about it.
Following this video's release, Boogie2988 called into a stream by the YouTuber Review Tech USA, or Rich.
Yeah, I think he's done a live stream about it too.
Keemstar claims he asked Boogie not to go on because Boogie will give away far too much.
A lot of people are also saying how much of this is staged, how much of this is to build hype for the show. And I genuinely don't know. The problem is, I've said before, I like Keem, but I think Keem would do anything to really get something off the ground and cause drama and stuff like that. Boogie just wants attention. That's all he really cares about. He just wants attention. Because Boogie has this thing in his head where he thinks he can turn any attention into good attention. He hasn't really worked out yet that he's not very good at that. Because he thinks, if I get eyes on me, because you'll see him do it. It's part of the Boogie cycle. He will routinely do something really stupid, really screwed up or whatever. Start a fight with someone, call out someone, shit the bed and make himself look genuinely stupid. Something like that. And then the next post will be a Sammy Shield. He'll post a picture of his dog. He'll post a picture of his dog. Something, I don't know, maybe something similar to this.
And the third guy says, guys?
Something similar to that. He might post a picture of his dog. Something similar to that. So people feel sorry for him. And then he'll start posting about, I just posted a new video about video games and you guys loved it. It shows that you guys care about me and I'm striving for the heavens and working so hard and every day is a battle, but I will champion this battle and I will rise above all this motivational crap. And then 2 tweets later will be him calling someone else out, or insulting someone or calling someone pathetic or something like that. This is part of the Boogie cycle. He wants to try and get attention, and then he wants to try and turn that attention into good attention by then, just talking about how he's such a good person, and he's the kindest person who's ever existed, everything like that. If people don't know, I watched the True Geordie podcast the other night for the first time, because I watched like the first 10 minutes of it originally, and I had said to people, I stopped watching it because this is a run up to fight. I said I stopped watching it because of the vicious amount of dick sucking going on, and it really was. Like, it really was. Like, I don't know anything about True Geordie, but he was like, he seems to be a big fan of Boogie, and he was going with the whole, like, you're being trolled because people are jealous of you. He was like your mom. He was like, yeah, they're just jealous of you. They wish they were you, Boogie, that kind of shit. And I was like, I can't. And it was so cringe. But Boogie later on, it starts, like, talking about, like, sugar babies and stuff like that, like, stuff I'll use as video footage in my upcoming video, which will be up at some point. And it was just cringe, like him saying how, you know, there are thousands of sugar daddies in Arkansas alone. These girls picked me. And every single one of them, they're not afraid to pick up the phone and call me anytime they need something, if they're scared or if something happens. Was it during that? I think it was during, it was during that. He said, Rami told a story about how he's friends with a stripper or something like that. And she was being hassled in the strip club. So she called Boogie to come down and sort it out. And Boogie came down and he sat in the corner. He was like the muscle keeping an eye on her. And he was like, bro, this is so cringe. Especially because this is around the time when he was like, went back on PKA to grovel to them to ask them to be his friends again. And they asked him about that story where he said like, oh yeah, some guy, you know, was flirting with my wife, tried to grab her by the titties. And I was like, I glared at her. I was like, she's with me. And he was so scared of me because I'm going to fucking credit you. That shit, he admitted that was a fake story. And then we get like, the next thing we get is like, oh yeah, this stripper called me. Because like, you know, I'm pretty sure in America, strip clubs would have like bouncers and stuff like that, you know, like actually big guys, you know. But no, it's like they called Boogie. They called Boogie to come down and sort out the troublemakers in the fucking strip club.
I believe that Boogie should hash out his own drama on his own podcast,
obviously
making his own money, and not give that content away for free to others. Boogie agreed with this, but things quickly went off the rails when Boogie started answering, well, a ton of personal questions.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I can't talk too long. I'm over here on
Why would you
Twitch
talk at all?
I'm live streaming Super Mario Wonder. Feels good to be playing video games again for a change.
Imagine you're one of those people who's excited that Boogie's back to playing video games, and like literally like the second or third time he does it, he calls into like Review Tech USA streaming and just starts screaming at someone. Imagine you're like, oh, he's finally back to playing video games. Finally, it's all I wanted for Boogie. I wanted him to get away from the drama. Like 20 minutes later, he's screaming at someone.
It's interesting.
Your stream is funny as fuck.
What was your incentive for putting something out so damning about yourself? Let me ask you a question. 2018 definitely wasn't your peak year, and you almost made, before taxes, obviously, $500,000. You've had bigger years than that. Where the hell?
No, that was my peak. What do you?
I don't. I think I said I've watched 6 minutes. I don't buy that. I'm gonna have to do some like looking around to see if I can try and find numbers, because I can't believe 2018 was his peak year. I thought like 2014, 15 was like his peak year. You know, when he was like doing like sponsor deals with like PlayStation and all, where he had like Mike Nelson. So I think that was around like 2013, 2014 kind of time. I can't believe Boogie's peak year was 2018. I just can't. I might be wrong. I might have been like, but I can't buy that. Especially when Boogie like says, I made $500,000, you know, estimate in that year, and that was easily my highest. It's like, bro, wouldn't you have got paid like good amounts through your like sponsor deals with like PlayStation 4, where you're like one of the first people who covered like PlayStation 4? Wouldn't that have been like amazing, like lucrative, like, wouldn't it? But no, just no. Okay, cool, 100%, I guess.
Are you insane?
Yeah, one of Game of the Year was
2016.
Yeah.
Well, dead people don't live in houses.
Oh.
Right? And so why pay off a house if you don't plan to live?
I think, in fact,
remember, this is Boogie who said he didn't include his cancer in the documentary because he didn't want people to like stop watching his content. Because everyone stopped watching Total Biscuit's content when he had cancer. It's like Boogie literally just tells everyone. This is on his own live stream. Him saying this. It's not just on some random podcast where most of the times won't hear. This is on his live stream where people are excited to see him play video games. He immediately talks about offing himself. Instantly. It's one of the first things he says during it. And you're sitting there like, bro, come on. like that is much more likely to get people to stop watching you than you talking about having a very slow-moving cancer.
No, Keemstar completely blew a gasket when Muda called in and had the big climax that he envisioned for our show on Review Tech USA's stream.
What's up, Muda? I am
kicked off the show.
I am not equipped to handle this right now. Hello, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm over on Twitch playing.
I love they just zoomed in on that.
It's excellent.
A few minutes later.
I never did, but I did.
He never did.
You are factually incorrect because I never did.
Because he never did.
About that publicly until you made
yes, it's on your Twitter feed.
Yeah, I quote tweeted you.
Yep.
Because you were bringing it up publicly. Yes,
no, you didn't. That was.
That's like Boogie. it's like I said with Boogie. Boogie just deletes tweets, and he just thinks everyone just accepts that tweet didn't exist anymore. It's like, oh no, you didn't quote tweet me, like, because that tweet no longer exists, so you can't have. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? And yeah, Fireproof Flame, you're right. Total Biscuit got record level support after the Agnes. People loved it. It is so weird that is the angle he's trying to go for here. But also the other angle being like, well, no one believed me anyway about the cancer, so I thought, why not? I might as well just not include it. And it's just like, bro, I remember covering that when he said he had to block 200 people who were mocking him for it, and there weren't even 200 comments on the initial post yet. And when I looked at them, 99% absolutely positive.
That was a completely separate tweet.
You were the one that brought it up.
The point that I'm making is you are still fucking
lying
wrong.
right now.
The point that I'm making is
Stay
you're
back,
still
yeah.
fucking wrong. You're still fucking wrong. I have her ID in my wallet. I know how old she is.
I have her ID in my wallet. I know how old she is. It is so weird that he thinks that as a reflection, because he's going for like a weird attack, because everyone is saying, like, you told them this. You're a weirdo. Because he probably did. He probably trying to flex. Oh, yeah, I got an 18-year-old virgin here. Oh, yeah, I'm such a fucking giga chad. But then everyone says that, and he's like, well, no, she's 20. It's like, yeah, we know, but you said you're trying to boast that she was 18. Well, no, I don't. I have her ID. I know she's 20. And I was like, that's not what we're saying. We're not saying that she isn't currently 20. We're saying that you were gloating that you met her when she was like an 18-year-old virgin. That's what we're saying to you.
She's not. She's 20 years old.
And now you're
That's not the point.
You got caught in this lie.
It's not a lie. It's on your Twitter feed right now.
Yeah.
Go
I don't
check
know,
your Twitter
Treasure.
feed right now.
The fallout for what you just saw was probably the funniest conversation I've ever witnessed in my 5 years on YouTube.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. Your fucking retarded fucking head. I talked to you before you went on. In my other group chat, people were like, oh, Boogie's calling into Rich. I fucking called you.
I don't like a lot of people saying it's kayfabe, and I can see where people are going with that, because it is kind of a bit, you're sitting going, okay, is it real or is it not? Because I got to this point, because I've heard this before, so I stopped here at it, and you're sitting going like, okay, is this kayfabe? But I don't know if like Keemstar's this good an actor.
Spoke. I said, don't give Rich the tea. Your exact words.
And I don't know if like Turkey Tom would be involved in this,
right?
you know?
So you call the Rich, you tell him I'm busy.
He doesn't seem to fake stuff a lot.
You start answering every fucking question because you're an attention fucking freak, and then you have a face-off with Muda on Rich's stream. The face-off between you and Muda should be on your podcast. That's monetized, that you make money on. Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. This is
the thing I found weird, because they said that's going to be episode 2. That should have been episode 2, I think. Because if it was episode 1 was not monetized. So that was the one thing he said there. I was like, that's weird, because I don't even think this episode was monetized. Because when I watched it on my phone. My phone doesn't have ad block on it. That's when I watched the 6 minutes and there was no ads on it. So I'm assuming it's still not even monetized.
not a mistake. This is not an accident, you fucking retard.
Kayfabe is deleting all the wrong motion. Could've seen that, Travis.
Before you went in, I fucking hate you. Fuck you. All the time and effort into this fucking show to help you guys out, and you can't do the simplest task.
Sleepy, they said people can call in because there's like talk about potentially having like Frank Hassel be one of the guests in the future, because they were joking that they were going to make that happen no matter what. But I don't really think Boogie would go for that like at all. Because like he'd probably like absolutely lose his shit and just like have a wee meltdown and cry. That's one thing in the True Geordie podcast is so I actually made a fucking picture for it. I'm going to include it in my video. He was talking with True Geordie about the Frank Hassel thing, and obviously trying to like financially shame like Frank Hassel, going like, well, you know, he's working in a gas station last time I heard him. I was like, Boogie, you're literally begging people for $1 super chats. I don't think you can shit talk someone. But he was talking about, I depersonalized and everything, God, and I was terrified, and all my PTSD hit me and everything like that. And he's just talking all his usual shit. But then when he says about firing the gun, he said, and I made sure to point the gun off to the west, to shoot it towards the woods, to make sure that I didn't hurt anyone. So Boogie's now rewriting the warning shot to say that he aimed the warning shot at the woods so it didn't hit anyone. It's insane. It's another new thing for the Frank Hassel lore. Do you know what the biggest problem is? I know which way his house faces, because he points it out himself repeatedly. I know which way the woods are, and I know which way he fired. He did not fire towards the woods. The woods are like northwest, he fired southwest. Like, it's just like, bro, you fired, like, honest to God, I have an arrow entry on it because I blanked out all the names, and he fired. The general direction he fired, fairly close to a church. Like, so he didn't fire into the woods to make sure no one got hurt.
I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah, he plotted the shot, Mr. Bateman.
Yeah, obviously I fucked up.
He planned ahead. It was like wanted. He curved the bullet.
I didn't know Muda was going to come in there and pull his shit. I should have left when Muda showed up.
That's the thing I want to say. In retrospect, I should have left when your boy decided to pull his shit. Your boy. That's his description of Muda. You know, like, your boy? Like, what description is that? Like, trying to, like, shit on Keemstar when your boy did this? Like, what description is that for Mudahar? Like, he's acting like Mudahar isn't, like, an independent person. Your boy, is that racist? I don't fucking know. That's weird. Yeah, not the southern boy. Yeah, your boy. You know, it's like, what the fuck? It's kind of, it's a weird thing to say.
And said, save it for the show. But you're right. I respect your decision. Let me know if you need any of the passwords or anything like that. I'll be glad
He
to hand
refers
over.
to all non-white men as boy,
And,
apparently.
let me know if you change your mind. And
Yeah, Paul, what shit? Actually, you know what? Like, Mudahar was totally reasonable. He didn't come in screaming at Boogie or anything like that until Boogie's the one who escalated it. Boogie's the one who started screaming and shouting to try and drown out Mudahar because he walked himself into a fucking corner. It's exactly what he did. And yes, I was curious when he said, if you want to know if you want the passwords, let me know. If you want me to send the passwords, it's like, what does send the passwords mean? Does Boogie have access to, like, something that no one else does? Like, why would Boogie have a password that no one else has a password for? Is he, like, talking about, I'll return the passwords? That's not how that works. I think you'll remember it. It was so fucking weird. It was just absolutely fucking cringe.
also, you didn't call me. And
Have I seen him on his knee? No.
You sent me a message here, but you didn't call and talk to me. We didn't talk. I mean, I understand you're upset right now.
We didn't talk.
We didn't talk.
Boogie, you know, so everyone's sleep on it. Is this Nick typing here? Because this is the only bit I would think is, like, real, you know? Is it because he said keen chill? I saw that in a thumbnail somewhere. But yeah, it's like, we didn't talk. You just messaged me here. Boogie, stop playing fucking semantics. Are people really believing that? No, we're investigating. We don't know.
I need you to get on your fucking hands and knees, have your girlfriend fucking film you, and say, I'm sorry, Keemstar. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm sorry, fucking...
He just got me a subscriber.
Nicholas Fiorio, Muda, fucking Tom, everybody that's even fucking cared about the Lolcow podcast. I'm such a selfish attention fucking retard that I want attention. I want to be in conversation so bad that I gave an entire, the entire storyline of what's been happening on episode.
You didn't call him verbally. Yes, you did not fly to my house and hold my hand.
To
Get ready to cringe. Oh, I can't wait.
USA, because I'm so thirsty to talk to someone. I'm that big of a fucking loser. Make that video, you piece of shit.
Oh, is this what people are talking about?
I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh my god, the one time I wish you guys could see my face. Is it more pathetic that he's wearing a Star Wars t-shirt? The baby Darth Vader on it as well whilst he's doing this. Oh no. Oh my god. This is the fakest thing so far. Keem's a great showman. just walking my dog. Oh, is this what people said about Frank Castle walking him around as a dog? Oh, it makes sense now. This is the fakest bit. It's a bit too much. Because, like, Boogie would be doing this because he knows this is going to get leaked or get shown on it. Like, this is the kind of... Like, Boogie will degrade himself for attention. Like, we all know that about it. Press F for his dignity. F and chat for Boogie's dignity, guys. That's the thing. This is too much. This is, like, genuinely... It's too much. Like, I don't know, maybe, like, some of the rest of it was real. But, like, this bit from Boogie, it's like when I said about the documentary. With the documentary, I said, you know, for ages I said, okay, well, this seems fake. This actually seems fake, but because it plays to Boogie's narrative. And then after watching so much, I was like, do you know, I actually think Clum was genuine. I think Boogie was faking it. Because that's what Boogie does. You know, Boogie will go in. Boogie will have gone in and formed the documentary the way he wanted it because he will just act the way he wants to portray himself. So I still think Clum wanted a real documentary. I still think Boogie went in and deliberately played things in certain ways. You see it when when Clum talks about it. It'll be in my video and stuff like that. This is like Boogie knows, oh, this is going to be on the podcast. I'll do this. This will be performances. This will get me attention. There's people talking
Jordy,
about me.
I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show.
This
and give away
is
the
so
fucking
embarrassing.
storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog.
The other thing I'm genuinely curious about, like, usually when people get on their hands and knees, their dogs run over to play with them, but his dogs haven't done that with him. That's the one thing I find suspicious here. Imagine being his girlfriend and doing this. Imagine just... I'm going to pretend it's Chad filming, because that makes it funnier for me.
Piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left them.
No, this is
moment Muda
cringe.
came on. I'm fucking stupid.
The moment your boy came on, when that boy came in to degrade me, I should have got right off and tell your boy to get back to the fucking curry plant or something like that. I don't know. What the fuck? This is so weird. Humiliation fetish. I've seen people say that about Boogie. I've really seen people say that he's got a humiliation fetish.
Sorry.
I just want all of us on the same page,
So cringe.
right? A couple days ago,
Boogie's sitting here fucking getting milked by just random people, by Muda, by everybody.
Yeah.
And he's giving his response to drama for free on Twitter.
Should have made him bark.
And I say, Boogie, look, all right? No more of that, all right? You want to address drama? You want to address what some people are saying? Some
Did Andy Kaufman get on all fours and beg in front of his girlfriend daughter? Guys, let's just be an Andy Kaufman. You know that time Andy Kaufman pretended to be a dog and said sorry to Daddy Keen. You know, I was just doing Andy Kaufman, guys. You guys are too stupid to understand my level of sense of humor.
Firstly, that's going on with Boogie 298. You do it on the podcast. You do it on the podcast where you actually can monetize it and get fucking paid. Boogie, Boogie goes to me, that's a smart idea. That's a really smart idea. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's fucking common sense.
There's
common sense. There's no intelligence to that whatsoever. A 5th grader could figure that out, right? But you at fucking age 54 haven't figured that out, and you get milked by the fucking most random.
I'm kind of just at the point here where I kind of think we get it. How much further we're going with this kind of makes it feel a bit, because ever since the Boogie thing, I kind of lost my semi. I'm down to like a quarter chub here because it's kind of like, I get it.
Person ever could just go in and fucking milk you, get you all riled up, get you spamming 17 fucking tweets for free, or teats, really, that's what they're called on a fucking cow, because you get milked, you fucking dumb, retarded piece of shit. Anyhow, after...
Oh, they forgot to blank out that one, no! Monetization, no! For some reason, monetization doesn't seem to mind that word. Like, really minds the see you next Tuesday word, hates that. On my Girl World Ireland, I said that, like, twice, I think it is. Those are, like, my only 2 on my Girl World Ireland that have been demonetized, and they're the only 2 I've ever had where I have, like, appealed it, and they sent me back a timestamp for why it's not getting done. So it must have been literally just one word each time, because I've never got, like, a timestamp for a specific, this is why we've demonetized you. And it literally was like a timestamp I clicked, and it's just immediately, yeah. I was like, okay, okay, both times.
That life lesson that I gave you, right? I find out in another chat.
Daddy hurts me, guys.
Stream. Review Tech USA. He's going in there. I'm like, oh my god. I think
Review Tech USA, has a stream about it where he's called like Keemstar spazzes out because I spoke to Boogie, something like that. I just feel like I think Rich is trying to get a bit of attention from this too.
Boogie's gonna go in there and spill all the tea, the beef between him and Muda. He's gonna give it to Rich for free. So I hit you up.
Timberfish, yeah. PC's gone mad.
I'm not gonna do it. As soon as you get in there, Rich starts milking you. Starts saying, "Whoa, I don't understand. Why didn't you pay off your house?"
We get the point. I have to admit, I'm at the point where it's like, bro, I really do get the point here. We're retreading ground that you went on Rich's stream. You shouldn't have gone on Rich's stream.
Your stupid ass falls for the bait. Yeah, because I was gonna kill myself, and I was gonna do this, and I was gonna do that, so I didn't need to pay for a house.
Did you really want to save that for the podcast? Or that the bit where like Boogie does the bit where everyone hates him? People don't even find it funny. It's not like funny to laugh at him. You know, it's just like pathetic. You know, when he brings up the whole, I didn't intend to live, and that's why I gambled on crypto, and that's also the reason I did the sugar babies. It's also the reason of my poor mental health. It's also the reason for me not paying for the house. It's also the reason for me not doing this. Why I didn't upload that much. It's like, it's just like, because it's his excuse for like everything. It's not funny. It's not even interesting.
People don't need houses. Why is that on Rich's stream? I want the
we had that on this stream.
Podcast.
But
it should be on your podcast.
It was on this podcast.
On
it was on the podcast though. I remember Boogie specifically using that excuse on the podcast. I remember groaning about it. That was like, specifically, actually, it was still, because I'm gonna say, Keem, I bet it happens every week. I bet it's on every week's podcast.
Then Muda calls in, all right? Which, again, I'm mad at Muda too, but I can't be too mad because he doesn't own this podcast. Boogie, you own it!
When you're right, you're right. I shouldn't have went on Rich's thing. And I definitely should have left when Muda came on. And
see, the fact that they're doing, like, filmed bits of talking to each other is what, instead of just, like, typing something, like, this is what, you know, like, because this is for the audience. Like Boogie's, like, playing to the audience here.
Talking about any of that shit. You're right. Again, Mike wants me to promote this doc. I went on to promote the doc. I thought I could also promote the live stream.
If you ever need art for you, let me know. I'd love to repay the free serotonin with art for you. Thank you very much. Free serotonin. I like that.
But you're right. I'm an easily manipulated.
Or you sit there and have a fucking
oh my god, we're back to this again.
Give it to Rich for free. You gave it to Rich. Bro, you're supposed to be launching a podcast. Episode 1 of the podcast.
I honestly have to admit I disagree with Kim because it just, like how many people would have cared about it without... Like, because I know when we were watching it, we're like, okay, we're a bit, probably, maybe we were drama fatigue because there's been so much Boogie drama recently. But I honestly think that was like the peak of Boogie drama for a while. I do think it made sense to feature that. My biggest issue with the first episode of the podcast is we treaded it over water. It's well run already because we just went through the documentary again, you know?
The entire
update. Boogie is fat, and I also would not have sex with him. Okay.
it's the feud between you and Muda, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel sleepy. Yeah, Rich kind of hyped it up.
You a question
did.
about Muda, you respond. Like, that is the entire fucking episode. Episode 2 is Muda's response, all right? Then you two are going to have a conversation together. You gave basically episode 3 of the podcast away. You gave it
away.
to USA. Did you?
I do like the voice break. Oh my
See?
god. Wait, Keem, we just retread this.
How much money Review Tech was getting? Dude, he's in their stream. Muda and fucking Boogie are going back.
Yeah, but the biggest problem, okay, see, I disagree with their point then. Because he's saying, do you see how much money he got? This is where it starts to feel fake. Because you guys don't do live streams. If you did a live stream, those super chats might have been yours. But you don't. You don't do super chats. You don't do live streams. This is why it should be a live stream. Because you can actually get out quickly and do the drama. And like, I think it was, they said earlier on, it was a week and Boogie couldn't hold off that long, you know? So if you do a live stream, you can do the drama a lot quicker. And you're going to get super chats for it, especially now that they're going to be monetized here fairly soon. Like, so him saying, oh, well, where'd you got all these super chats? It's like, well, you wouldn't have got them anyway.
You
don't do it live.
Donation, $50 donation, $20 donation, $5, $10 donation, $100 donation.
LolcowLive should be live. It's insane. Exactly unlimited.
Have a mortgage to pay. A big fat fucking 400-pound fucking retard by the name of Boogie2988. Oh, that's right. That's right. You do have a mortgage to pay. All right, and you could have had that conversation on your podcast.
Just arguing, you're correct. Yeah, I think he is also flabbergasted by us because, well, try to remember, like his entire job is literally keeping Boogie relevant. That is genuinely his job. It's why Boogie will take anything from Keemstar. I think it's even in my script for the video. I think I pretty much ended by talking about how Keemstar is genuinely Boogie's last lifeline to relevancy because no one will give a shit. The aftermath of all this, Keem is the only thing keeping him relevant. Because Keem is the one who got him the boxing match, got him 10 grand for the boxing match, especially Dez. Dez 2 appeared straight after he got 10k for the boxing match. Suspicious. And then he suddenly got 50 grand. Well, I believe he got 50 grand for this, which happened straight after his documentary dropped. Like, Keem is the thing that's keeping him relevant and also partially keeping him with a girlfriend. So, I'm just saying, he's just Paul Heyman. Exactly that.
Where you get paid. You even had a warning before you went in, but you're so fucking retarded. You're so fucking selfish.
God.
You want to have this conversation. You want attention from everyone.
Okay, we're nearly done. We're nearly done.
You literally gave the content of your fucking show away. Why do we even have a show? What's the point of a podcast? What is the point of a podcast?
Yeah.
You have ruined episode 1. Episode 1 is ruined. It shouldn't even come out because there's already been a conclusion.
Channel, you're wrong. Boogie, you're right though. Boogie's not Andy Kaufman. It's because he's the Undertaker and Keem is Paul Heyman.
That lives on the internet because of Boogie and Muda. The episode 1, throw it out. Now we got to do a whole different episode 1. And there's no episode 2 or no episode 3.
Wait, but you did episode 1. What?
You have ruined this show. You piece of shit. You have completely destroyed it by your selfishness. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
But contrary to what you've just seen, the podcast is not over. Boogie is not fired. Episode 2 is on the way, and we're now joined by Turkey Tom and Mudahar, who can hopefully help me unpack what exactly just happened.
So we got an
So Mudahar, why did you go on and talk to Boogie on Rich's stream?
Because he's a liar, bro. I gotta go in there and fact check him.
Do you hate content? Do you not want the podcast to succeed?
Dude, I don't get paid anything for this.
Yeah.
So you know what? If Boogie is out there spreading the misinfo, I'm gonna jump in there. You know, this is I gotta address this right off the bat. Okay. On the first episode, he said that he was scared of me. Okay?
Oh Christ!
Like he was deathly afraid.
Okay, so is this what? See, I was curious what the thing was. I wasn't sure if they were gonna because I said I don't know how good this is gonna be because I thought I'm going to be watching this. Oh, it's Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. I forgot. I'm so stupid. I thought it was going to be them watching the original video and reacting to it, and I thought it was going to be weird. Me reacting to them reacting to it.
I have like 10 million subscribers or some weird number like that, and I'm like I visibly, openly hate him, bro. How is it that like Charlie was more scathing than me in his video, and somehow he's like, oh yeah, you know I can respect that, but Muda, no, he blatantly hates me.
Yeah.
I don't hate Boogie. I just dislike the line.
Well, he did. He did specifically say, "I hate you" in that video filmed in his car. Millie, I think that was straight after the wife incident. So.
Insane amounts of lying when you don't have to. And like, what's this insinuation that like a fan is gonna go there? I denounce anybody harassing anybody. That is the most fucked up claim to make.
Before we get super in depth here, where does his beef come from?
It's not just like, oh, DSP. Okay, cool. Good.
Boogie hater. I mean,
I'm not like a
Boogie
hater.
Video
it's just
on
like
I know Tom's made 2, right?
Like, I'm not like a hater of Boogie. It's not that. It's just like
Tom hasn't made 2 videos on Boogie. I think Boogie claimed Tom had made like 6 or 7 or something like that when he went on to confront him.
like when he like blatantly lies about stuff like that. It's just
just look at Charlie's complexion. That's why he accepted from Charlie. He's like, you know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's a fair point. And Muda comes in. He's like, ugh. Who the fuck gave you permission to speak to me?
To think you are.
Okay, well, Nick, in fairness, you don't have to be a Boogie hater to not like Boogie. Like,
No, but Boogie keeps saying that like you hate him and all this shit. Where is that coming from? I guess
I don't know.
Chat.
He like the thing is, it's like he has this weird mentality where like if you don't like him, he fixates on you, and it's like
I thought it was, but it's not a 4-star. It's not a 4-star beanie.
You just have to learn that not everyone's going to be cool with you.
Yep.
Especially not like the reason why. These are two reasons why I dislike Boogie. Okay, not hate, but dislike. It's his compulsive lying.
Yes.
But it's also this like fake Mr. Rogers, I'm always nice to you attitude. Like I'll tell him that I don't like him lying, and he's like,
I think even after all of this, even after all this, I saw Boogie had tweeted saying something like, you know, the whole, like, I don't get why people enjoy seeing Muda and Keen be terrible to my face. I don't get why people find that entertaining. And, like, Muda came out pretty much just like, what? I never said, like, anything that terrible to you. That's the point of this whole thing. And then, like, immediately says, oh, but, you know, I said that we could potentially be friends one day. Everyone... It's one of the reasons as well when I saw that I was like, oh, this must be a bit played up because, like, why would you finish like that? But everyone is so soft with Boogie. I'm like understandably so. He got me a subscriber. It makes sense why everyone is so soft with Boogie, because Boogie is the type of person where no one wants to be mentioned in the note he leads after he ends himself. Well, I'll word it like that. Like, no one wants to be named in that note, you know? Which is like when Sam and Tolkien got taken down, because he probably told Reddit, you'll be named if you don't take down that subreddit, which is driving me to do this. Like no one wants to be that guy, you know? Because, like, no matter how little people care about Boogie, or how much people dislike Boogie, if he suddenly, like, had a massive blowout with Muda and then ended himself, people would blame Muda. It's like people blame Keemstar for Etika still. You know? Because he brought him on, he exploited his mental... Even though Etika himself commented afterwards and said, no, I don't blame him at all. You know, we were on, I talked, we discussed things, and it's fine. I'm actually fine with Keemstar. But then after Etika died, people blamed Etika dying on Keemstar. You know? No one wants to be that guy for Boogie. Because I have people all the time say that to me. Like, obviously, back when I used to cover him more. But we get people coming and saying, what happens if you're the one who drives him to it? I was like, I won't be. Because I won't be. But if Boogie ever does anything, Boogie will have done something. You know? And it's entirely his own 13 reasons of Boogie. 13 reasons of Boogie. Yeah. I think people are scared of that. Because he threatens it so much. No one wants to be that guy named by Boogie for it happening. You hope Gruber is being a good girl? She is sleeping. She's having a great time.
I respect your opinion. What the fuck? What do you respect? The fact that I think you're a liar?
I did it my way. That's great.
So you can't critique him anymore.
Exactly.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
That drives me
Look,
insane.
I'm the bigger man. We can agree to disagree. It's like, no, your girlfriend's fucking weird, bro.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Thank you.
His whole...
I like that. I'm going to use that soundbite. Your girlfriend's fucking weird, bro. Because she is fucking weird, bro.
His whole, like, life thing. Dude, this documentary has been, like, the dumbest decision I think he's ever done in the history of Boogie. Like,
well, the thing is, like, if he wasn't him, it would have been really good. But because he's him, it's bad.
Yes.
Like, if it wasn't him, like, new channel from Mike Klum, no videos, literally no reputation. Within days, or 1 week, 3 million views. Boogie's channel, if you check it, his analytics are doing well. He's getting over 100K relatively consistently for the first time in a long time.
For recently,
but because he's him, it kind of turns into a meltdown thing. And I'm kind of curious how this podcast...
See, I agree with that, because I keep an eye on his analytics every once in a while myself, because, you know, obviously, why wouldn't I? Oh my god, he just posted up a new fucking documentary extended scene, and once again, not able to make it over 8 minutes long. It's him... Oh, Christ, I have to show this. Sorry, guys. I have to show this here. Okay, Boogie just posted this up here, okay? 46 minutes ago, trolling a makeover specialist. Do you know why he's titled it like this? Boogie has made out a point, because, like, this wasn't meant to be trolling a makeover specialist, especially because he's put in brackets makeover specialist, because the makeover specialist, I think, was meant to be that actress. That's who Mike Klum originally said. That was the actress. We were trying to hire an actress to be the makeover specialist. So he knew he'd be streaming. Exactly. He wants me to advertise this for him. His numbers, his view counts have dropped substantially after, like, because he was like 240, 140, 180, 150, but 100, you know, like, before the documentary came out, bad, terrible numbers before the documentary came out. Documentary came out, boom, hitting the heavens oh no, oh no, oh no. They're going down and down and down. Because this is exactly what I said last time. It happened during the begging video as well. His view count spiked, dropped sharply afterwards again, because no one sticks around, because no one likes Boogie. Oh no, I'm sorry, Boogie, to break it to you, but no one actually likes you. But the reason he named it as trolling is because Mike Klum set this up because he doesn't really want to, like, he wanted to set up with a fitness expert, with a makeover, with a date, and with the job interview. That was what Mike Klum wanted to do. Boogie, however, decided to go in and just fuck around. So he couldn't be criticized for his... So he could do... I was being Andy Kaufman and all, even though he knows Andy Kaufman doesn't work and everyone always criticizes him for it, just over and over and over again. This is why he's titled it as trolling now. Because he wants everyone to think this is the job interview, that was me trolling. Even Klum, when he's on the Some Ordinary podcast, was asked how authentic was the job interview. And he went, with Boogie, it's hard to say what's authentic and just what's not. You know? Like, it's exactly that. February, I saw you mention this a second ago. Boogie has typed entire obituaries in DMs to people who criticized him, and DMs as a skill manipulator. Irishman wisely doesn't engage. Exactly. That is why I will not engage with them. Because I know exactly where any conversation will go instantly. I just know. The second he gets talking to me, he will try and spin it. We all remember FPS Buttergolem. I don't know if everyone remembers FPS Buttergolem. FPS Buttergolem was a guy who started making Boogie content around the time of the begging video. He was very quickly gaining subs. He nearly hit 1,000 subs, and he was really excited to hit 1,000 subs. I'd give him a shout out, and it really helped his numbers grow at the start. And he'd put up a video like thanking me and stuff like that. He was in contact with Boogie via DMs. He was hoping to get interviews and all with Boogie and stuff like that to try and launch his career. Next thing you know, suddenly he nukes his entire channel. A couple days later, Boogie is talking on live stream. He mentions that he had a 3 or 4 hour long conversation with a Boogie hater who was bigger than him. He was like, I had a channel that got more views than him. That is just a lie. FPS never did. And after talking to him, the troll, because he never named the troll suddenly felt so bad. He felt so bad and deleted all of his content, even though some of his content was on Jack Scalfani and Wings of Redemption. But he suddenly blocked everything. And then pretty much released a video shortly afterwards saying there are people who do it better than me, blah 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 blah. And he showed up in my chat a while later. I think it was around the time of the boxing match, and he said that he had deleted his channel because he was scared because Boogie was threatening lawsuits around the time to people. He never specifically said Boogie threatened him with a lawsuit, but he said it was going around. Also, that one guy, yes, Paul Riveter, who is a drama channel. He talks to Xylee and Kristen Ark and stuff like that. He apparently sat down. He was criticizing Boogie because of the poor quality of his t-shirts. And the kind of sketchiness around the donations for charity. And then Peepaw and him got on the phone call, and people said, I will never repeat what he said to me because he said to me in private. However, Boogie, if you feel the way that you say you feel, speak to your therapist. Don't speak to me, speak to your therapist. So it sounds like Boogie phoned Peepaw Riveter and just trauma dumped so hard on him, Peepaw Riveter took down his video criticizing Boogie. It's what Boogie does. It's what Boogie does. That's what I wanted to address there quickly. A lot of people are saying that with Klum because Klum is taking a lot of the bullets for Boogie. He's taking a lot of the blame. Boogie is just throwing all the blame at Klum right now. And Klum is just kind of yeah, smiling, kind of accepting it a wee bit, not really going too hard. I think that is probably the worry, is that he is just outright just doing stuff like that. He's Klum probably realizes himself, I have a train wreck. I don't want him writing me down his death note.
Is going to be for him because it seems like he's getting roped into more drama, and it's not okay. I say roped in. He's roping everyone into his drama rather. But I don't know how well that's going to go for him.
I'm so glad you said that, Tom. I'm so glad you mentioned it. The reason why me and Boogie even have had a disagreement in the last 2 weeks is just
always
instigated from him.
Yep,
I don't mention him publicly. He makes that post, and then I quote tweet it because you're mentioning me by name.
We had a private conversation. I don't even know if I was in it. There was a private conversation about his weird relationship, which was, I guess,
this is a group chat leaks I was talking about prior. So just so everybody knows.
So in the group chat, there was a conversation about Boogie's new girlfriend, and a bunch of people, Muda included, I think maybe.
Fireproof. I actually want to address you again. You always have. I'm gonna go do my Trump. You have the best comments. You have the best tweets. Yeah, you're right. This is why Irishman doesn't engage with Boogie on any level. This is a master manipulator and will make you feel personally responsible for suppression because you made a video on him. I'm going to be incredibly honest because I think guys generally know that I'm good enough. I like at dealing with Boogie's manipulation and stuff like that because I've seen plenty of them. I know him as a very manipulative person. I go in with that mindset and I kind of can see what he's trying to do and how he's trying to play.
Got you a subscriber.
You took away from my serious there, Mr. Klum, but okay, thank you very much for the subscriber. But I'm going to tell you guys, after I finish this video, I am quite likely to take a break from anything like a deep dive into Boogie. or anything like that. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because after a while, Iris, have you ever tried just stand your ground? Strap up if he comes to my house, do you mean? No, I think I'm gonna take a break from doing a deep dive, because after a while, like, you feel like a chink in your armor, you know? Because after a while, because he is so consistent with so many of his manipulative points, you know, and he's like trying his best to always like win over people. But he's on, like, especially when you're watching other people's podcasts, he is always trying to be so charming and so nice and everything like that you can kind of, he's actually draining. It's like the guy the Side Scrollers was talking about. It does seem it is tiring Shay. The guy from the Side Scrollers podcast, they interviewed DSP for hours. They interviewed Boogie for like, I think like an hour or something like that. And he was talking to Clum, and he just said, I was exhausted afterwards. I just didn't want to deal with him ever. I didn't watch anything else to do with him. I didn't want to deal with him ever again. And I feel that. Like, seriously, that like, it's probably one of the reasons why my videos are going quite slowly, and me gathering evidence is going quite slowly. Because I'm watching, even at like 2 times speed, some of these like are 4 hours long, I'm watching podcasts. So it's still 2 hours even at 2 times speed, but I have to pause every once in a while to take notes. And you're just sitting there, and he's draining to watch. Like, he is genuinely draining to watch.
Keemstar, I'm not sure. But
yeah,
a bunch
Muda,
of people...
what did you actually say? Like,
well, okay. Let me set it up. People were speculating on his relationship and saying it's a little bit creepy.
Yes,
that Boogie
is
a 50-year-old man is dating a, I believe, 19-year-old girl. I believe that is the age. And I believe
She's
in the group
29.
chat, maybe the ages, maybe they thought she was 18, and that's really what set Boogie off, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, she's 20 now.
Yes.
So again, it's so fucking weird that I have to be like the fucking record keeping. We all have to be the record keeping department here. It's just so fucking.
We have to be checking her fucking driver's permit or whatever to make sure.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, like,
keep in mind, like,
In your defense, it does take a day to edit a video when it's 95. Shut up. I'm waiting for my new computer. I'm literally checking my emails twice a day because I'm just waiting for it to like be like, you know, dispatched. I'm just checking it every day. I know full well it's probably going to be a couple of weeks still, but still I keep checking it.
everyone was roasting Keem's shit too, because
yeah,
he's
they
fucking
did.
dating Brantley.
Yeah.
Like, while listening to this conversation.
Which I think is hilarious, because Boogie also called out Keem for dating Brantley at the start of the relationship. Like, he learns what I learned, that it's not a good idea to date someone that, some bullshit, like, I can't remember the exact word now, but I have a screenshot somewhere. But, like, Keem is like 41, and Brantley's like 23 or something like that. Boogie's 49, and she was like 19. It's like there's a difference. Like, does he not even realize that there is a difference? Like, that he is even further aside, and he was the one who criticized Boogie. Criticized Keemstar. Even like when he keeps like comparing himself to Leonardo DiCaprio, and it is crazy because I think Leonardo DiCaprio right now, 2 months younger than Boogie, and he's dating a 26-year-old or something like that, and he keeps like comparing himself, and it's like, bro, even in your comparison, you're worse. Even in your comparison, it's further along. It's like a 6-year difference. Make sure you didn't get a Dell. I did not get a Dell. Don't worry, something like that. I didn't get a Dell. I got one of my brothers in particular is really good with computers, and he like kind of he looked through and he taught me through what parts I should get and everything like that, and like organize it so it'd be like a good computer, because. I really, should I dox myself like this? Should I say this guy? I'm not sure if I should say it, because I was talking to him about what I should get, and I think we decided, I think it's a 4070 we decided I was going to get, which is apparently like an okay one. It's like the budget of the current generation, and I was wondering, should I get, you know, like a wee bit higher? And he told me outright, it's like, well, you don't really need anything overly higher than a 4070, because I don't really use the computer a huge amount for like buying, you know, for playing games and stuff like that. My current graphics card is a 760, I think. I think my current graphics card is a 760. I have a 760, and I have 8 gigabytes of RAM on this computer. So editing videos takes fucking hours. It takes fucking hours. That's why if you watch my Girl World Ireland, there's a lot of times when I'm trying to just do things in one take, because I'm like, if I do this in one take, I don't have to sit there for an hour and a half whilst I edit out a couple of seconds of me flubbing something. That's how bad my computer is right now, because I just don't use it. It's like, what do you play? It's like, oh, I play a Fortnite, I guess. I play Fortnite a wee bit. I play Persona. Persona looks terrible, so it's not really like it matters. I play Minecraft. Like, I don't really play cutting edge games. I got a PlayStation 4 if I want to play a new game. Minesweeper, sometimes I play Minesweeper. Editing on a toaster. Editing on a literal potato.
conversations going on.
Oh, God, I can't wait to get the new computer.
For the record, there's this idea that nobody roasted Keem.
I'm also at the point. And people did roast Keem. I'm 100% sure of that. I was like, there is also my computer doesn't even turn off anymore. My computer is so shitty because like people will notice every once in a while there's an issue with like my live stream or like I used to show chat my YouTube chat on screen, but it was so delayed because like I'm using like an ancient version of OBS because OBS doesn't work on my computer because I'm on Windows 7. My computer doesn't even turn off. Like if I hit shut down, my computer just goes black screen and just stays on. It doesn't turn off. The computer still keeps going. So I have to turn it off at the power every time I turn my computer off.
Like people did. I made a video about I met Keem and Brantley. I made a video making fun of the relationship.
Calling him a fucking pedophile. You know
right,
what I mean?
and nobody called Boogie a pedophile, even in that private chat. Nobody did. I believe I've seen it.
I like the most you'll get out of me.
He said he looked like one.
Listen, it's like anybody that asks me because it wasn't just that group chat. Like a bunch of other creators and like Discords and like messages. We're all just shooting the shit because he publicized that girlfriend so much.
Yeah.
And it literally looked like
unplug it. I hold down the power button.
It was fucking weird.
Probably
right?
does
like,
damage.
Took photos. So when creators ask me, it's like, oh man, what do you think about this? It's kind of like weird because it was happening that day, and I'm like, yeah, it's fucking weird. But at no point I think in any call were people insinuating that this was like a weird grooming situation, right? And this was like I remember Keem even like was mentioning like that to him privately. Boogie said that my girlfriend just turned 18 or something. Which that was all privately said because nobody was going to make a public statement.
That's the thing, because I remember when Brantley first came out and said it around the time that Boogie announced the girlfriend, and Brantley said it, and people said to me, "Oh my God, apparently she's 18, and Boogie's been talking to her for months now." Because Boogie, like even when you watch like True Geordie and the PKA thing, Boogie's inconsistent with how long he's been seeing her now, which is not great. But it never goes past her being 19. But it was one of those ones where it's like. Because he's like inconsistent with it, and it was like so much drama around it. When Brantley came out and said that, I was like, okay, well, Brantley's Keem's girlfriend. They're probably just doing this to help promote Boogie, honestly, because Boogie can then immediately confirm actually she isn't, and then it gets talked about, but the drama instantly goes away afterwards. Mainly, people still think that she's like 18 because of the drama. But then Keemstar said it. So now two people have both said, no, Boogie did actually say it. There was 4 people in the room. 2 of them both said Boogie did actually say it. The third person's kid behind the camera, and he has never commented on it whatsoever.
Because there was just no proof to it. He decided to take that group chat.
Marfeld? That's
that
mean.
we were spreading rumors. Like, we can talk about
it's very Nuri of me.
Not making a public, matter-of-fact, recorded statement. And that's where, like, he tries to...
Photo, he took a chance, you know? Haven't heard of that.
Spreading rumors, and I have to, like, shut him up right there. Because the thing is with Boogie is, like, he will blatantly lie. And I feel like not enough people in the world try to correct him, you know? Or try to, like, set the record straight. And
I agree with Muda that not enough people try and correct Boogie and call him out on his, like, blatant, obvious lies. But at the same time, I also say, like, well, like, Mudahar's too soft on him. Mudahar will call him out, but then they'll end by being like, but we can both be friends still. Okay, well, ceasefire. I hope you feel better soon, dude. You know, that kind of stuff. I feel like they really... He then goes out overly nice, like I said, because he probably doesn't want to be the person written at the bottom of the note, you know?
It's just a thing to me. Like, I look at Boogie like a fucking puppy at this point, okay? Like, I don't even think...
Anyone else surprised Boogie started having financial problems? Of Chad didn't pass away. Chad was, I think, seen in the background of the documentary. Clum confirmed Chad's still there.
He's just like all there. He's like he's just like I don't know. He's like you have to treat him like a fucking child sometimes because he's just not mature enough to handle a grown-up conversation. Even when I was on that talk with Rich, I was correcting him on this exact issue, and he starts screaming like a fucking 6-year-old.
Yes, he does.
Like at this point,
I never did. I never did.
It's so hard because I'm sure like when I say this, it resonates with a lot of the viewers. Like I grew up watching that guy and watching him talk about video games.
I never
He's
did.
To get back into stuff like that now, but it's like. Holy fuck!
It's hard to get him to focus.
We'll see if it works.
It's hard to get him to focus on that. I haven't really said this publicly, but I was at Boogie's house just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now.
Did he shoot you?
No, he did joke with me a little bit about that actually, with like a BB gun.
Of course he did. That's like all he has.
But yeah, I was there, and I was trying to get him to like make just like normal content about games and stuff. And when he posted it, he was like, "Oh, that was a good idea. You maybe post a video about the damn."
I remember him actually saying this. Because I actually had written that down in my notes when I was watching their confrontation. Because he had said at the end, because Boogie's like, what should I do with my channel? And Tom outright said, this is what you should do. You should go back to making gaming content. Stop doing drama entirely. And then he just didn't. Because that was like months ago when he went back to doing drama and stuff like that. But then, okay, so Tom's actually gone, this is what I say about the... about everyone being... Now we have like Turkey Tom going to his house to help him make content to try and save his channel. Like, it's one of those things where I point out about how manipulative he is. He now has people, like drama people who make videos on him who should know it's like he's a really bad person, going to his house to try and help him improve his content. Like, imagine. Like, genuinely, just imagine that shit.
in this fight, it's like a 3 out of 10. Like, that was a good idea. And I was like, yeah, you should do that every day. But for some reason, like,
yeah, you should.
Nick, you and I have talked about this. There seems to be this like Lolcow gene where no matter how much advice you give one of these people, they refuse to take it and actually better themselves. It's
Except
the,
this podcast. We can force him to do this.
Well,
we
can
can't
you?
Force him to get out of bed, make a video, and make money every day. It's crazy.
Even getting them to do this, though, you say that we can. We've gotten 1 episode, so don't get too cocky yet.
Well, there's a lot of issues in the back end. We'll talk about all those issues.
It's taken 2 years to get this podcast. I've only become involved recently, and you, Nick, you've been like in the group chat watching this. Muda, you only came on recently, so like
he'd get less money, but he'd stop fucking. I don't know if he would. If he's just like live stream video games every day, he would make more money. Like if he just did Twitch streams and he played video games every single day, his audience will show up. His core audience will watch anything he produces. So if he does something every day, he gets income every single day, you know?
We've known peripherally about this for, I want to say, a year and a half.
Making another video with him?
For context, Keem came to me and asked me to co-host it.
I want to start off like also by saying I didn't join this podcast for an interest in drama. I actually joined it because I want Boogie to get better.
Yeah, Matthew, you didn't do that because much good goes white, as we've clearly defined by this.
Better, you know? I almost
That's
feel
what
like
all of us are doing, yeah.
I almost feel like this is so the way that I've envisioned this podcast, and people got to understand what the B team is about, right? Like, I think the best way to change Boogie Wings for the better is like fucking internet shock therapy. And it's not being mean, it's not being an asshole. It's just like when you deal with liars, when you deal with people who say I don't, you have to be there to counter them, you know, tactically. And I think only by doing that enough that they can actually, you know, see themselves for fucking who they are. And
I don't think the problem is like Boogie has like had a spotlight shone on him so many times, it doesn't matter. It's like for me, like I'm not gonna like suck my own dick here and say my videos are all perfect and the greatest thing ever. But I generally try and with Boogie don't do reactions, but done some reaction stuff like this, like the crypt thing and all. But I generally try and have videos where I'm showing like the videos in the background, have like sound clips, or have like the tweets in the background, something like that when I'm talking about things. So like the evidence is there, you know. But like even if I show all the evidence, like Boogie's take on my content was like he's wrong about me a lot. Well, he's very often very wrong about me, and that's just it. And he has nothing else. You know, he has nothing else because he just like he doesn't care. It's like I have the clip of him with the Sunny V2 thing because I'm going to include it on my video where it's like I'm talking about his issue with criticism because Turkey Tom criticized him. He immediately came out and said Turkey Tom's a racist. That was his first reaction to the Turkey Tom video, was to call him a racist. And then he did the confrontation with him, where he then said, oh, actually, to be fair, I've never actually watched the video. I skimmed through bits and pieces of it. And you said this about me. And Turkey Tom's like, no, I've never have said that about you. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I heard you did. Someone told me you did. And that's because this is what Boogie does. With Sunny V2. Sunny V2 literally showed the tweet of Boogie saying, I bought a Tesla. And he goes, see, he's lying about me. He's lying already. I never bought a Tesla. It's like he didn't even say it. He showed your tweet of you saying it. I don't think you can shock Boogie, because I think Boogie is well aware of what he is, and he doesn't care, because he is twisting in his head to just make himself the good guy in every situation. I don't think you can shock Boogie. Everyone has done this before. Everyone has said it. People have shown plenty of evidence. It doesn't really care. He doesn't think about it. He is just, no, I'm right. Those people misunderstand. It's like the sugar baby thing. Like, how often has he changed the sugar baby thing? He has changed the sugar baby thing from him spending $200,000 on sex workers to, well, maybe $40,000, but it wasn't on sex workers, it was on sugar babies, and it was me putting autistic children through schools because I'm such a nice person. He somehow has tried to rewrite this documentary, which is all about him taking accountability, into him being like a saint. Just a lovely, kind, saintly person who is just too good for this world. Even something everyone criticizes him for, he is like, actually, you're all wrong. I'm actually amazing for it. Because that is his level of fucking cognitive dissonance with how normal people view his actions and how he views his actions. So he will never realize. I don't actually think it is possible for him to realize what he's wrong about. Like Salmon Talking Subreddit thing. Like Salmon Talking Subreddit, I never really even looked at before. And like when you go and look at it in archive now, because I was trying to find a piece of information for my video, everything has like a link beside it. And most of the links are dead nowadays, but they have like links beside it. It's like, so how are you saying that they made up all this stuff when they all have links to like individual pieces of evidence? There's one I found, which is him being creepy. Some girl joined his, I don't know, like, who she's called, Diva or something like that. She's some female streamer. She joined one of his streams playing Apex Legends, and apparently he was just creepy to her the entire time. And the only thing I have, because the stream is long gone, because from like 2019, so there's no archive of it or anything, because a lot of Boogie's worst streams were never archived. Because people got sick of him, they stopped liking him, and it seems a lot of them are not archived. But it's from like 2019, and apparently he just kept making like sexual jokes at her and innuendos and all, and she apparently had to remind him like 3 different times that she has a boyfriend, and he kept doing it. He just kept doing it. But Boogie just doesn't realize that. He just doesn't recognize that that's a bad thing to do because that was 2019. We're 4 years later and he's still doing that shit.
We change, right? Maybe get rid of that Lolcow gene in a way too, because
I mean, dude, this guy's lied about a fucking swatting before. How
3
can
swattings.
he take anything he says seriously? Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Muda is like, you know, he's one of the people who calls Boogie out on this shit. He's made videos on Boogie, and Mudahar's like, did he? He lied about a swat. Even Mudahar doesn't know this. Even Mudahar doesn't understand this. You know, he hasn't heard this before. Because, like, there's not a lot... Despite what Boogie says, everyone knows about Wings' big dramas because there's been numerous documentaries and videos and, like, troll channels who... Every day, new content up. Every day, new content up. But for Boogie, he doesn't have a hater community. Like, his hater community is, like... There's a guy called Q-Star, I think it is. I've seen a couple of his videos. He made Boogie's on videos ages ago, but he's making a lot now because of the documentary. And then who do you have? You've got Sunny V2. He made a couple like a few years ago, and then he made one last year. Mudahar made one. This is his second one. Like, I think it's just like me and like Johnny Fox. I think those are the only 2 people who like talk about him on any form regularly. And I took like an 8-month break. I took like an 8-month break from it.
Know about the fucking swatting.
You're familiar
lie.
with that, right? When he's like on such and such date, I was fucking swatted, and then it
I
turns
don't
out
remember
the
that.
weren't there.
The story basically is that Sam and Tolkien, the subreddit, was going really hard against Boogie. This is the subreddit that created the big mega thread about him.
Yeah.
That was really infamous a few years ago, and so that was going on. And then Boogie starts saying that he's been like harassed, he's been attacked, and he's been swatted by Sam and Tolkien specifically. And everyone's like, "Oh, what do you mean you were swatted? What does that mean?" And to make a long story short, Boogie's explanation was that these people called, you know, the SWAT team to his house, and his explanation, furthermore, was that he had a secret agreement with the police to keep police records regarding them visiting his house quiet. So that, and that's why people couldn't find a record of it. That was his explanation.
Yeah.
And eventually he got caught for it. And his explanation now is like, well, it wasn't a swatting, it was a weaponized welfare check. And then his explanation is like, the reason that I lied about the police thing was because I was playing 5D chess with my haters.
Yeah, he's like, I sabotaged myself to make you report wrong facts.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not the case.
Fuck
Like,
out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Is he next to Yoro? I guess he's like Italian American. Just get the fuck out of here. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh my god. You do hear a dog. Yes, she just gave up on me. I'm talking too loudly for midnight and she's just left the room. Sergeant Nazi, you missed so much. You missed so much. Yeah, the thing is, I watched an old video of him talking about the weaponized welfare checks, and it pretty much is just, it was him talking about the welfare checks, where he was so weird, because in one of them, he was just outright talking about, like, he was talking to someone in DMs, and he was saying that he intended to, you know, end himself, but not immediately. He'll do it in next month. That's literally what he was saying. I have it downloaded. This is literally what he was saying. That he was going to do it, but he'd probably do it, like, next month. And this person called a welfare check in on him, because he said he was going to do, like, that 2 + 2 = 4, done it? Am I right or am I wrong here? So the person called it, and Boogie was sitting there ranting about it, saying, going, they nearly got me killed because the police officer came up there and I'm feeling it in myself. What's to stop me, like, pulling a gun and having them shoot me dead? They were trying to get me to do that, so I got killed by a cop. They were trying to do that. That's what they were trying to do. And then he randomly was saying, going, and also it happened during a date. I was having a date with a girl. Her lipstick is stained. It's on the back of Sammy's neck right now, by the way, guys. Yeah, so I was in the middle of a date when they did this. And you're just like, bro, are you seriously doing this, like, rant where you're talking about how your haters are trying to, like, actually get you ended? But you have to drop in, oh, by the way, oh, yeah, I was on a date with a hot chick at the same time. It's like, bro, this is why I can't believe anything you say, because that's not how people think. People wouldn't give a shit about the date element of it if you thought someone was trying to, like, assassinate you.
You got caught.
He got caught. He lied. He even
But dude, I was in the trenches on fucking Twitter arguing. I'm like, bro, why the fuck would somebody lie about a swatting? Like, it's a really traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Bro, egg on my face. What the fuck?
Boogie.
But
Yeah, this guy will lie about fucking anything. I don't believe what he told me if he had...
That's the thing. I didn't know, and I don't know if people would say, "Oh, you're spreading docs," because I don't know. Because okay, actually, I'm not, because Boogie himself actually called it out and he showed it on that live stream I was talking about. Actually, never mind. Boogie randomly on one of his live streams said, "These people have invaded my privacy so much they've even uploaded there's body cam footage of his welfare check." Of like the police showing up at his welfare check, and the police just like kind of downed it up, just like knocked the door, and were just like chatting to his roommate. It wasn't like they showed up with like machine guns and stuff like that, which you'd expect for swatting. Like I saw Mr. Mediker swatting, they went harder for Mr. Mediker, you know, and he's like a dead guy in a wheelchair or something like that. No, they went up just like knocked the door and just talked to Chad. And that was pretty much it. And they have the audio recordings of the phone calls and stuff like that as well. It's just, it's so weird that he's like, they were trying to get me murdered. If you were doing something like that, trying to get the police to like swat you, you'd be sitting going like, you'd say like, oh, he said he has a machine gun, he's going to take out everyone with him. That's the kind of stuff people say for swatting, which by the way, I don't agree with swatting in any way. I honestly think if you're someone who swats someone, you're like honestly just a massive piece of shit. The first person I ever banned on my account, I remember, I didn't ban him, I just timed him out and just told him off. It was because he came in and said Boogie deserves to be swatted, and I just told him off. I told him off and timed him out because I was like, that is a stupid opinion, mate. And it's like one time I've like cracked down on someone. But Boogie is like, oh yeah, they're trying to get me murdered. It's like, no, they weren't, bro. Like, when you're sitting there telling people that, they have a right. The Quartering did a welfare check on Boogie. The Quartering, who was one of his best friends online, who he played Magic the Gathering with, did a welfare check on Boogie. And Boogie called him out for it. Boogie has like a full video ranting about the Quartering doing that. How are these weaponized welfare checks?
It's like shit you don't have to lie about, too. That's the fucked up part. It's like, you know, this is the thing, like, when people are like, yo, why did Boogie's channel fall off or something? And I'm like, I think his channel, like, and this is where my thing is, he fell off because he's not a personality that anybody can connect with. Yep. You want to watch somebody that you can kind of, like, trust or understand, or, like, you know, you don't, like, do you sit down with a compulsive liar and call them your friend in real life? No.
But, dude, it's so sad because he was. He literally was like, your fucking uncle, okay? He was your uncle on YouTube who sat you down, had a nice conversation with you, and then the other.
And actually, I get that. Like I said, when I go back and I watch his like earlier stuff, even when he's like being nuts on them, like I watched his divorce streams, like the two of them. I didn't even know there was a second one. I remember the first one because it was the rap about Hitler. When you go back and watch his like middle of the road videos, because I watched a lot of his early videos when I was like thinking about doing a documentary, and then I watched his recent stuff. I very rarely ever watch his middle videos, 2012, 14 kind of time period. Like, he's an affable person. I understand people who watch him. It's like I said, I feel like I need to take a break after this because he's an affable person. Like, if you watched him back then and you're like a young impressionable person, like luckily I never watched him. Like, the only thing I remember was the Draw My Life, and I remember feeling sad for him when I saw the Draw My Life. I never watched his content after that, but I remember feeling sad for him. But if you watch him around like 2014, I 100% understand people thinking he was a good guy and liking him. Especially if you only saw his YouTube videos, I 100% understand people thinking he's a good person and liking him and being like horrified or not believing what he is actually, what he was before he got famous and what he was after he got famous.
Uncle would get a little drunk on the weekend and he'd be like, yeah, fuck you, kid, you're adopted, your parents don't love you or whatever. It was kind of funny. And then it just became this woe is me bullshit where he cries about his fucking life and all of his haters and he can't interact with like 5 seconds of anybody talking shit on the internet. Dude, we're like, you're a fucking million sub YouTuber, you're a 3 million sub YouTuber, you guys have like the best fucking job in the world, okay? If the worst part of your day is somebody on Reddit saying that you're a piece of shit, Muda, you've had a pretty good day.
The thing is, that's the way you have to look at it. But Boogie, for whatever reason, it became like this crazy part of his neurosis. Like, he was just obsessed with it. He was obsessed with this thread. And then he was obsessed with Christopher Tom when he made a video about the thread. And it just spiraled from there.
Didn't he say that he wishes Christopher Tom's cancer no, what did he say? Like, oh, I'm so glad you got a second chance. It's a shame you wasted it to attack me or something.
Something like that. He says stuff.
It was like Christopher Tom, he had cancer, beat cancer, and then went on to ruin my career. It's why I think he doesn't talk about Christopher Tom anymore. I think he realizes that it's just an out-and-out bad luck. He doesn't... When he was listing people before the documentary of, like, these people who made videos of me, suspiciously, Christopher Tom was not mentioned. He mentioned June the King, Sunny V2, and Turkey Tom. He mentioned those three specifically. He did not mention, like, Mr. Snowflake or Christopher Tom.
Like that regularly though, like when I like got low-key canceled, I guess you would say. He said a similar thing. This is just how
wait, that one was so funny because you and me were working on a Boogie documentary. Like we were in the early
it was
planning
supposed to be like a favorable kind of
and
thing.
Boogie was involved. So even though we were going to like in a way help him, he took the shot at you anyway.
Yeah, see this I remember him taking a shot at the community channels and them talking about they've been working on something with him. It's like, imagine someone who is, like, as bad as Boogie. But, like, the reason why he doesn't have a hater base is because even people who, like, shit on him, who know the bad stuff about him, Nick said, he grew up with him. He's like, oh, he's like an uncle, you know. Because that is, like, the type of, like, manipulation and power Boogie holds. And it's why it's dangerous when he has, like, a young girlfriend who's, like, 20 years old and apparently is a fan of his. It's like, this is why it's dangerous. Because I have fucking video clips up the ass of Boogie saying he doesn't talk about, he doesn't want to talk with fans anymore. He doesn't want to date fans anymore. He's learned he doesn't want to go with young girls anymore. He doesn't want to be with 20-year-olds anymore. 20-year-olds are stupid. His limit's 25. Oh, just him saying loads of shit like that. Over and over and over again. If Boogie mentioned Irish, that would be he's mentioned me a couple times. He's mentioned me a couple times by name. He called me the Potato Channel. I think someone messaged me and said that he spoke about me recently. I think someone like teased him about me on like a live stream, and he mentioned me again. But by the way, don't do that. You don't need to do that or anything, guys. I'm quite happy having no contact either way. Don't go and talk about Boogie, me to Boogie, everything like that. Just don't. I'm more than happy doing my thing here. You know, I'm an island. I'm an island like Ireland. So I like to be by myself. If Boogie never watched my content, I'd be more than happy. I have no interest in talking to him or anything like that. My stuff is my stuff. It's why when Boogie goes, people are harassing me by making videos. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm making my video over here. If you never saw it, that's fantastic. I don't care if you don't see it. I don't care at all. You're the one who goes and looks for it. That's the biggest problem with Boogie. If he stopped doing that, he'd be okay.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it was. And this is the thing. Like he's not a very forward-thinking person. It's hard to even tell how self-aware he is in the moment. Because when he has a perceived slight, he just goes off. Which is what happened with his group chat thing, where he saw that, and instead of thinking like, okay, maybe I'll message. Okay, he knows Keem.
You know what I'd have?
Keemstar knows Muda.
I would have so much respect if instead of being the fucking Mr. Nice Guy, he was just like, fuck you, Muda, you smelly Pajit piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking break your teeth in. If he said that shit to me, dude, I would love Boogie. Yeah. I would fucking be like,
it's one of those things where, like, Boogie does want it both ways. Just like, Muda Har said, he wants it both ways. He wants to be like, I want to leave a legacy of people loving me and all the people I've saved and helped. I'm such a kind, loving person. But then he's like, oh, but now I'm leaning into the bad guy edge. I'm Andy Kaufman. I'm fucking with people. Yeah. It's like, you can't be both. It's not possible to be both at the same time. You just can't do it. If he just was like, no more drama, and he actually could stick to it and was just a good guy from then on, fine. Whatever. I would have nothing to make content on. I would stop making content on him. Beautiful. Mwah. Fantastic. We just started talking about video games, and that was it. Nothing more. If he deleted his Twitter, he needs to delete his Twitter if he wants to be happy in life, because he just can't control himself on it. But if he just wants to be a bad guy, yeah, might he get more of a troll following? Sure. But, like, whatever. At least he's being, like, honest. Why does Boogie hate the Potato Channel? Because he's always mashing up his content. That's terrible. Thank you very much, Super Chat. It's terrible. It's terrible. If he went, I think it'd be better if he just went full nice guy again. But it'd be better if he just actually stuck to, I'm a bastard, I will just be a bastard. That if he just stuck to that, I could, like, understand and respect him more than him just, like, flip-flopping back and forth on how nice a person he is.
Love this guy.
Because
at least he's real, at least he's not fake. I would love if he would, because here's the thing, he keeps saying that, like, I hate him. I always feel like that's him, like, fucking projecting, okay? Like, this motherfucker seeds.
Well, you did say you hate him, didn't you?
I mean, I dislike him. Well, in the video...
You said he was, like, the worst person alive or something.
The worst person alive.
Well, no, I said he's a waste of life.
Yeah.
You're a waste of life.
You're a waste of life.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's not me hating you. That's just me telling you, like, you're not doing...
Oh, that's not me hating you. It's me telling a fact.
You're wasting yourself. You're wasting your own life.
Yeah.
So
you're calling him a disappointment.
Yeah. But, like, if you're talking about hate, like, yeah, I hate some people. Like, you know who I hate? Like, the crypto scammers and shit that I cover, right? Like, people that run away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Boogie, as far as I know, hasn't financially scammed anyway. He's just emotionally
No, he financially scammed himself.
Just himself, yeah.
Well, the difficult thing with him is, like, he would be more fun to work with if you could just take him at, like, face value. But you never really know, like, what Boogie you're dealing with, and sometimes it can get confusing. Sometimes you're dealing with, hey man, I was just playing Super Mario Galaxy, Boogie. Or sometimes you're dealing with him literally on his knees saying, Keemstar, I'm sorry. Like, you just don't know what Boogie.
Yeah, which is the performative, like, weird bit of the entire thing. Like I said, it's so weird. I remember him specifically because he said it twice recently. Because he's talking about, like, his options of going forwards. And like I said, on Twitter, he's sitting doing like, oh my god, guys, you like my video game content. I thought no one would anymore. My life has changed and it's uplifted. I will stream every day. And he's making excuses why he doesn't stream today because he has a stomach bug and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, so he seems to be, like, being a good guy now on Twitter again. That's the angle he's going for. But then he's, like, changing and turning around and talking about, like he was talking about, to Wings of Redemption, he mentioned, and he also said on one of his live streams, where he pretty much said, I can't be like cough Uvalde. Exactly, yeah. Like, Uvalde was a really bad look for him. But no, he was talking about, like, DSP and Wings, that I could never be you guys, because I couldn't just sit there and be bullied for a living and have people just shit on me for my existence. I couldn't have that. I'd put a gun in my mouth if I had to live like you. He literally said that about, like, DSP and Wings. He literally said that about, one of them two wings. One of them two wings specifically. But it's like, and now we have footage of him on his hands and knees doing this weird performative shit, like pretend groveling for Keem. It's just cringe, you know? It's like, bro, you're not living up to the standards you have set yourself.
You're gonna get depending on the day.
He's such like a liar too. Like, hey, he really does not like Muda. And Muda gets to the stream. Hey man, I'm playing Super Mario.
Yeah, I love that.
Right
I love that.
It's a pretty good game.
It was the cringest shit. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just playing Super Mario Wonder. Have you played it yet? It's a really good. It's so fucking cringe.
Well, he was recording his episode, telling everybody, listen, me and Muda have a ceasefire, so we can't talk about him on the podcast at all. I open my phone, I look. Muda's like, the fuck is he talking about? We didn't have one of those.
So that ceasefire shit is hilarious. He's like, I'm sorry for interacting with my wife and everything. He's like, I'm sorry for interacting with her and doing all this shit. And it's like, I'm gonna ask Keemstar if I can block you now. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Ask Keemstar if I can block you.
Then, okay, I'll just do your job for you. What do you have to ask Daddy for permission? Like, I'll do that for you.
Can I block you, please?
That's the thing that I don't get. It's like, dude, just be real.
Oh, I'm not sure if I should bring this up because of the blocking thing. There's a weird thing going on right now. It was very quick, and I don't know if it went anywhere, but it's because I was looking around for information. If anyone watched Fish Tank, there is a girl called Betty, who is like apparently a clone character of a girl called Letty. She was some woman who looks like one of the people in Fish Tank called Letty. They brought in someone who looks like her to mess with her or something. I never watched Fish Tank, but she's called Betty. She has been tweeting at Boogie, about how weird he is and stuff like that, and he's a creep, and he knows what he did and stuff like that, and just kind of just weird shit. Keeps her as Boogie's idea as well, exactly. And she was like warning another person who's from Fish Tank to not work with Boogie, because the guy had tweeted Boogie saying, when are we going to meet up and do this or that, and she was like, don't work with him, he's a freak, he knows what he did, he's a bad person. Just really weird shit like that, just over and over and over again. And I wasn't sure about it, because it's like, okay, well, this is potentially someone saying, a young woman saying Boogie did something weird to her, but she's being cryptic and weird about it. And I looked at it, and I was like, okay. And this is where I said I need to take a break every once in a while from this shit, because I think once I start looking at something, I like to be fair and I like to be objective, so I like to look at everything. I went and I looked through an interview she had with someone about her time in the Fish Tank, and I looked at the clips from her in the Fish Tank, and I went and watched a couple of her recent live streams around the time she made the allegation about Boogie, just to have a look to see what the fuck was going on. And I'm pretty convinced she's just schizo. If I'm just being really honest with you, I think she's just weird. I think she's just schizo. I think she's a clout chaser, because she seemed to use Fish Tank and immediately went into posting loser cell, where I think I saw her take a piss in an army helmet, and then she put it on her head after pissing in it. I'm pretty sure that is something I've seen. I'm pretty sure that footage is on YouTube, which probably shouldn't be on YouTube. Kind of weird. Yeah, so I saw that come up, and I was like, I don't know if I'm even going to include it in my video, because like I said, it is a young woman making an allegation about Boogie, so with him being weird, but I don't believe her allegation whatsoever, because she's being so cryptic and weird about it, and she does just seem like a weird schizo who would just do anything for attention. So I'm not 100% sure if I should mention it. I probably won't, because like I said, I don't believe it, and I don't like to muddy my points by bringing in... It's like when the Ethan Ralph thing with the grape incident, if anyone knows. There's a girl who's one of Only Use Me Blades. She's Only Use Me Blades RV. She claimed that Ethan Ralph had graped her during one time they were taking a coke and drinking together. And the problem was no one could believe her, because she is mental and she just says stuff. So, no one could believe her, and it was just really fucking weird. And there were people should we even report on this? Because no one believes her, because she's so weird. But it is something he might do, but maybe... I don't want to have something like that in my video, because it just seems... It seems fake, and I'm not the type of person to, really just go with, an absolutely crazy allegation like that, and give it a bit of extra weight. I feel like that would kind of take away from the video if I even platformed her. But I'll keep an eye on it, see if anything more comes out, if she actually ever confirms anything. This was a couple days ago she made these claims. I was going to DM her and ask her, but she doesn't have DMs open, and my level of commitment and fucks to give ends there, if I'm being really honest about it. I was like, I could try and get her attention, but no, I'm good, thanks.
Okay? Yeah. It just doesn't, that, if he was real with me, I would have a lot more respect for the guy, okay? Because that's the only thing that fucks with me. And when he lies, it's just that's just the cherry on top of my disdain, right? Because it's just... You don't have to lie to me about stupid shit. You don't have to fake being nice. I think...
Rens, I honestly think Ralph probably just has everything. I think he's a Pokemon master when it comes to STDs. I think he probably just has them all anyway.
think in his head he believes that he's like fucking this fucking level 99 charisma expert, and everyone's just fucking believing whatever sarcastic shit he says when he's about the dumbest fucking person in the room.
Yeah,
and you can figure out exactly.
I think Boogie's smarter than people think he is, but I think he is stupider than he thinks he is. I think Boogie thinks that he can manipulate people pretty easily with just like talking to people, because he does just think he can just play anyone with anything he says. I do think he thinks that he has that power over people.
What his emotional state is within the first 3 words that he speaks and the tone of his voice. That's it. He's like a fucking kid. Like
he's kind of a bad liar too, which is unfortunate, because if he really likes to lie, at least
Sailor.
He's rather bad. I would say.
Well, he was a good liar. We wouldn't know, and he'd still be like famous. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not infamous like he is now.
Well,
Oh,
speaking
Lisa.
of lies,
It's
what
so
about...
shitty
Go ahead.
because like so many of us were like in the audience probably were like fans of him. I mean, one of my first interactions.
This is why I think. Am I weird? Am I weird because I don't have this like fan mentality about Boogie? Everyone who talks about him, they always seem to have to preload it with mentioning that he is like, oh, I used to really enjoy him. I used to really like him. Oh, it's sad to see how far. I think that's why I'm somewhat unique, and probably why he never wants to like speak to me, because I made it very clear I never watched his content when I was younger. I never watched it because it was I don't know. It was just, even when I was like a kid, it was like obvious it was fake. So it's like, what's the fucking point of this?
Real interactions with Boogie, and I don't think I've really ever spoken about this publicly. I'm not gonna like drop the DMs and shit, but it was the night of the Frank Hassel shit.
Oh god!
And I've talked about
everyone
it with Tom.
talked to him
I
that
don't
night
think
apparently.
Tom for this
Everyone.
video, but you know what I was talking about with that stuff, right? It was like super oversharey. He got into some like really dark conversations. He was talking about all the hypotheticals of what's gonna happen when Frank comes to his house.
Try and
stuff
win
like
you
that.
over, manipulate
and there was
you.
a moment in that interaction where I was like, hey dude, I've like hardly ever spoken to you. This is like making me a little uncomfortable right now. Let's just, let's lower the stakes here a little bit. And he's like, oh, I thought you realized this is what your drama type content breeds. Like, I figured you'd be like fully aware of this. It's like, no, shooting somebody dead on my front lawn isn't really something I think about when I make a YouTube video.
Yeah. He even did that Sunny V2. He said, this is the type of audience Sunny V2 and the drama communities create. And it was like some guy, it was just some random comment from some random no-name anon being like, do a flip, put the gun in your mouth, I'll pay for the bullet, something like that. And basically, this is what Sunny V2 causes. These are the people he can't, like that kind of shit. And then if you watch his live stream afterwards, they said his audience was saying the same thing about Sunny V2, and you're just like, bro, come on, like, come the fuck on. But like, this is what Boogie believes. Boogie just like is trying to like guilt. Like I said, it's guilt by association. He is trying to like blame drama channels. It's because of you, Frank Castle came. It's because of you guys, not me challenging him to come to my house or anything like that. Because of all you guys, not my fault.
Dude.
Well, the thing about that is, what
do you think about the drama between Boogie and Keem is manufactured? There's bits I certainly think are manufactured or overplayed. There are certain bits I think are potentially real. So I'm kind of in the middle. I think some bits are exaggerated or fake, and I think some bits, like the whole begging on his hands and knees and crawling like a dog, really cringe, very, very clearly fake. Because even if it's not fake on Keem's side, I think it's that's something Boogie knows he shouldn't do and would just do deliberately for attention. He's not that stupid or that pathetic.
I think Boogie was planning when someone got there to his house to probably execute him, and then he just didn't.
Well,
really
no,
have
he
the
said
guts
like,
to go
I don't know
through
if I'm
with
gonna be able to do it, but you need to like defend me or whatever socially. Like, if I'm a martyr for this, like if I take myself out too, you have to make sure you tell my story.
My god,
like, motherfucker! I just met you,
dude.
like,
When he said that
he
was like scared of me and like a fucking fan going, I'm fucking livid. By the way, I totally fucking disapprove. I fucking vehemently disavow anybody who's willing to harass somebody in real life, because it's just internet
100%.
shit. Right?
Yeah.
So for him to insinuate that,
but it was really funny.
For him to insinuate that,
it's one of those really annoying things. Because I remember when I heard about the Frank Castle thing. Because like anyone who knows like the history of my channel, I got into Boogie because of the Frank Castle thing. Because the first time I heard about Boogie in like 6 years or something like that, is the first time I'd heard about him, was the Frank Castle thing. Apart from like Rip Boogie 298 in chat, that old meme. I used to see that every once in a while, but I hadn't seen anything from him for years. And then the Frank Castle thing happened, and I saw it, and I watched some people talk about it and breakdowns and stuff like that, and I was like, holy shit, this is mental. And I felt sorry for Boogie. Because obviously you did. I think everyone felt sorry for Boogie. The problem is Boogie has overplayed it. I actually wrote some notes, and I wasn't sure I was going to include it, but part of what I was going to say is with Jack's Films. Because Jack's Films, obviously, Sniper Wolf doxed him, went to his house, everything like that. And everyone obviously felt for Jack's Films and agreed with him. Sniper Wolf is a bad guy. She's the worst person on all of YouTube for a couple of days. But then he kind of still going on about it a couple of weeks later. And you can see people are starting to turn and be like, okay, Jack, we get it. We get it. And I was saying that he's overplaying it. You know, so I think drama moves fast on the internet, and at some point people will just stop caring and think you're milking shit. You know? And I think that's something Jack Sullivan is starting to encounter here, because like people just moved on from it. There's other drama to focus on. I feel that's how Boogie, what happened with Boogie, because everyone, from my recollection, felt bad for Boogie. Right after it happened, everyone felt bad, but Boogie wouldn't shut up about it. He kept, despite him saying, "Oh, my lawyer told me not to talk about it." Boogie has brought it up so often and made it such a big part of his brand. Where I remember seeing the videos come out when he when he came out and talked about the legal battle was finally done, and I watched his video on it, and I was sitting there going, like, "That's not what happened. I remember that. That's not what happened. That's what the hell." And I was confused, and I went and looked, and that's how I got into it, because Boogie lied so much about the Frank Castle situation. I was genuinely baffled. I was like, that's not what happened. People saw it happen, Boogie. Why are you saying this? It's not what happened, because I saw it, and it was all over the internet. There's like, your confrontations are there. Everyone has seen it. It's so fucking weird. Like, why are you lying? And that's what caused me to start looking into him, because he lied about it. He's even still during the Jordy podcast, he's still lying about it.
Is fucking blatantly retarded. Now, the thing that
that's a good thing to pause on.
The thing that makes me laugh the most is this guy invites people to his house.
Yep.
That's
like
it,
Frank.
dude.
He invited Frank to his house. He's like, "Oh, you're scared? 4 miles? Fucking drive here, pussy."
Yeah.
Well,
so I
I
don't
this is the
wanted
thing,
to
like,
defend him, and there's audio of that guy going like, "I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to like it." It's like,
This is the
what am I
thing.
supposed to do?
Yep.
He truly cannot help himself. This is the problem. Like, you or I, we see someone saying they're going to come to our house, right? We shut the fuck up. We don't say anything about it. And they probably fuck off. With Boogie, it's like, "Oh, you want to come? Well, you better come fucking packing." Like, and it's bad because he's like such a fake tough guy too, but it's just how his brain works.
He wrote me the next morning. I'm not even making this up. He goes,
Your DMs with him, have they ever been seen? They're so
"No,
funny.
they've never been seen." But he wrote me the next morning. He goes, "I didn't kill him. It wasn't worth the hassle."
Oh my god.
Frank Castle.
Oh my god.
Do you think he said that? He
No, he
did.
wrote no pun intended, so he knew exactly.
He knew
what
exactly.
He was saying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. Wasn't worth
The
it.
unbearable fucking cringe. The unbearable fucking cringe. Oh no,
The hassle.
god.
I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, that really
Like,
sounds like
Shauna.
somebody that was fucking super scared for their fucking life in that moment. Like, dude,
Yeah.
what the... This
I was like, no one talks about, because it seems like everyone just forgot the last 10 seconds of the clip when Frank, because like what he's talking about on the True Geordie podcast, he was like, he thought it was a BB gun, and he was like, you know, trying to egg me to fire, and when I fired that warning shot, he was scared. He basically ran. That's him talking about on True Geordie. He's trying to act like an alpha male for threatening to kill someone with a gun. He was threatening to kill an unarmed man with a gun, and he's acting like, I am an alpha male for doing this. Seriously, this is Boogie. Because Boogie was sitting there with True Geordie, who didn't push back on anything he said. It was like, "Oh my god, yes, Daddy Boogie." Every single time Boogie said anything. "Oh, they're all jealous of you, Daddy Boogie." Every single time he said anything. So Boogie was able to just sit there and try and flex on him. And that's why there's so many fucking clips. Like, people ask me, "Are you going to do like a reaction to it?" And I was like, I might do a reaction, because there's so much in just it. Because it is so unique compared to the other one. And then when fucking Frank is walking away, but you hear Boogie shouting in the background, "Yeah, you better leave, you fucking pussy. Yeah, pussy. Yeah, you better get out of here, pussy." He was trying to like threaten, to mock him, to try and get him to come back. It's so cringe. It's like, bro, how does no one talk about that bit? That's the worst bit of the entire encounter. He kept saying during the True Geordie podcast, he said, for some reason, he kept calling me the F slur. And also the N-word. I don't understand. Like, why would he call... I don't understand why he called me that. That doesn't make sense to me. And as like I said, anytime Boogie says he doesn't understand something or doesn't make sense to him, just know that he is lying. He is trying to prove a point, because he's trying to make everyone else seem insane for something that people understand. He's trying to make it seem like, this is such a crazy thing, guys. I don't even understand it.
This is the dumbest shit about him. Like, and then here's the
The
thing.
AC guy
I
was
feel like
great.
He knows that nothing was going to happen in that moment. He fires his gun off. I don't know if it was genuine stupidity, thinking that nothing was going to happen with a warning shot.
I think he did.
Or maybe
think that.
in some
Yeah.
fucked up part of his mind, he's like, "Oh shit, this is going to be the video that cracks 100,000 views or something." Because
I agree.
I'm
Well, the
fucking
thing
in
is,
the news
like,
now.
you say that you think maybe he knows, but for him, he's so delusional. Like, Boogie could believe anything.
Yeah.
I think if you really,
Yeah.
if you really just.
I'm on their side. I 100%. I do not think Boogie in any way was scared for his life. I think Boogie was just trying to be the badass. I think. But like I said, look at Boogie, because there's fucking studies and all that came out talking about why narcissists seem to go for young women. You know, why narcissistic men seem to go for young women. You know, and it's because it's like a trophy thing. It's like it is status affirming for them. You know, Boogie wants to... How often does Boogie, try and act like the tough guy? Because he was like, "Oh, well, I've never been in a fight before." Well, I was actually in a fight before, and I beat that kid so bad. The one fight I was in, I beat him so hard that it caused legal trouble from my family because I beat the shit out of him so hard because I was so tough and so strong. And it's just like this. He wanted to be seen like an alpha male, like I'm so fucking tough. He imagined, like, when Frank approached him, he didn't see Frank. He saw the little fucking Reddit alien. He thought it was Sam and Tolkien himself coming to him. Because didn't he keep calling him Sam? Remember? Didn't he keep calling him Sam over and over again? And people thought he meant Sam Hyde? Do you think he was calling him Sam because he genuinely thought it was Sam and Tolkien the entire time? He's actually, so he sees Dez. Oh, of course he sees Dez as a trophy. There's footage of Boogie at like fucking VidCon or something like that a couple of years ago. Where he was walking around, and he was in a group of a bunch of fucking, like, loser neckbeard looking guys. Like, no shit on them, I don't know them, but there's, like, neckbeardy looking guys. They're not, like, alpha males. And he had one of his, like, a young girl with him who I can only assume was a sugar baby. I was like, imagine you're trying to flex to a bunch of fucking, like, internet neckbeards. So you bring your girlfriend, like, your quote-unquote girlfriend, to the con with you to walk around with you. That is so fucking cringe. Because they're a trophy. He wants to show off. He talked on the True Geordie podcast about he loves seeing people and their expressions because they see him out with a girl and they think they must think she's my daughter, and then I like hold her hand and they're stunned because they realize that's my girlfriend. I love seeing their expressions because that's what Boogie wants. Boogie wants to be like, yeah, she's my girl, yeah. You even see it because like how guys generally refer to women generally, I think it shows how they feel about the girl. When a guy keeps saying, like, you know, that's my girl, yeah, she my girl, you know, stuff like that, it makes it feel like possessive, you know, instead of saying, oh, she's my girlfriend, or she's my wife or something like that. When you say, yeah, that's my girl over there, yeah, you step back from my girl, you know, it sounds really possessive, you know, it's kind of weird. And I just think, yeah, Dez 2 is just a trophy thing for him.
Push him a little bit, he will run. Like, for example, with this thing, right? He was in DMs telling me that there were commentary channels like Muda who were like spreading fake stuff about his girl and like insinuating he's a pedophile for dating this girl. I don't think Muda did that. I didn't do that. I don't know I don't know that any commentary channel that I've seen.
I don't think anyone has
done that. Maybe there's some one random guy, but Boogie tends to like conflate things. So like if one random guy says something,
exactly,
people conflate that as like the entire internet.
Exactly. He does it all the time with the people say I beat up my ex-wife, and I never really see anyone. I honestly thinking I can't even picture. I'm sure I've got the odd comment from someone being like, no, he definitely did punch her in the face one time, something like that. The vast majority of people, when they say abuse, they're talking about like emotional, financial, or mental abuse, something like that. They're verbal abuse. I never see people saying, going, yeah, he beat her up. He got out of his fucking mark cart and he started beating her up. I never see people saying stuff like that. But Boogie will be, they all say that I beat up my wife. It's like, no, they don't. That's not true. They just don't. That's not a common critic. Maybe one or two people say it, but he acts like everyone. It's like Amber Lynn does exactly the same thing. Amber Lynn does exactly the same thing. She will like say something and say, well, people in the chat really want to see this, because she'll take like one person and act like they're everyone in the entire chat. Everyone's saying this. One person said it. Because she'll just say, like, she'll see one person say it and she'll just say, oh, everyone's saying this. It's like, that's not true.
Thinks this, you know.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't even have to be someone. He'll just think
he'll just make it up. Yeah.
This is how
like the guy, oh my god, what was it? I can't remember what it was to do with, but it was like he pretended, like, I can't say pretended because I don't know if it's fake, but I assume it's fake. He claimed that some member of the KKK messaged him on Instagram calling him a white brother, and Boogie, in your next video, please talk about how, like, the white race is the best race because you're a white brother and I'll forgive you even though you dated a black lady. And I was like, if he was part of the KKK, I guarantee he would not have called her a black lady. I'm just saying, that's the fakest thing about that entire fucking thing. But Boogie acted like it was real. It's like, oh, the white nationalists, you know, are trying to come after me. It's like, what are you talking about?
Works.
All right, but back to the main initial question at hand.
Yes.
Why on Review Tech USA's? Listen, I love Keemstar. Keemstar is not. He probably just cut the thing I said right out of the stream just now. But you didn't want to, like, I don't know, have like a big confrontation or whatever back and forth.
I mean, it's not like I wouldn't mind it. He's just like, once I'm in a call with him and like he starts like just blatantly lying, and it's like I just have the facts right there. Then it's like it's hard to stop because he just like he begs for it, you know? Like, that's the thing. And like, and honestly, to me, that was fucking banger content because there was a lot of fucking weird shit that came out of that call.
Yeah, it was banger content for Rich.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, for the Lolcow podcast, okay?
Well, all right, take your clothes off.
Well, listen, 6 months down the road when we make our $10 off
stars waiting.
You know, one thing that I gotta say is like, why is Wings like considered the Lolcow? Like, when you sit next to like fucking Boogie,
yeah, Wings is
it's
normal.
Just, like, the dude is as normal as he comes.
Yeah,
like, he's just. I don't understand.
Wings gets upset about video games and like said some edgy shit. Like the weird thing between Wings and Boogie is that Wings at the start of his career was the Lolcow, while Boogie at the start was like normal, and Boogie is now the Lolcow, and Wings is like relatively normal. Like they've done like a total fucking 180. Like everything, like I see people saying like Wings said or did this, he's the worst person. It's all from like 6 years ago. Whilst for Boogie, it's like, well, did you know Boogie last year wanted to go to Uvalde and film content there 2 days after the shooting? That's Boogie now. Wings was like 7 years ago. He said something that was really sus and weird. That's the difference.
The Wing story. Somebody's gonna have to fill me in with him because I know him.
There's plenty of channels that can fill you in, but I've heard he's very professional.
Very professional.
He's been really good so far. I think the only issue we've had with him recording is that
he just sent too much footage. Some people don't send enough. He sends too much.
I don't know if he sent the 8K Dolby Digital.
Yeah, bro, he recorded it on the red camera.
Yeah, dude, Keem bought them these cameras, right? So I don't know how they're all getting.
Yeah, Jill, you're 100% right. I saw someone say that Wings is like, I think it was on Kiwi Farms. Someone said Wings is blessed because his fan base is fucking stupider than he is. Like, sorry, his haterdom is stupider than he is. And it's like, kind of, yeah. Because, like, Wings' like, trolls are so unfun with their level of trolling and their vitriol that it's like, because, like I said, I come here to laugh. I come here to joke around. If I was ever at the point where it's like, I fucking hate Boogie. Oh, he's the worst person ever. I'm going to end him. If I was ever like that, like, someone like, delete my channel for me because I would be so embarrassed for myself. I'd want someone to delete my channel for me. But it's just like, bro, you should be it should be fun. It should be fun. You shouldn't be like doing like tactical super ploys or like taking people out. It's cringe. It is just cringe, you know? And there are people in the Boogie fandom. I've called out people before in the Boogie haterdom before for being too invested. Like I called out that like exposing Boogie 298 guy. I was just like, can you stop just like randomly just putting up like 2-second clips that are totally out of context to try and be like, I've got Boogie here, because it just makes like normal people look bad. It just makes, because like Boogie can point to people like that and go like, see, these are my trolls. They're saying that I'm a PD, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, can you stop doing that? Because you're giving him a home run because he can just point at your fucking videos and say, this is what my troll is.
Values, whatever. They're not setting it up. But yeah, his file was 29 gigs or something, and I sent it, dude. I thought my computer broke. I kept importing it, and it kept crashing my fucking computer, blue screening or something. And then I gave it to Keem, and he tried to open it, and the fucking visuals were missing. I don't know what happened, but I ended up making it work. Yeah, it was a shit show. I don't know if you know about. There's like a bunch of other hiccups that happened with this.
What else happened? What else happened with this of note?
Well, initially, I mean, I don't want to get too far into this because we already covered this on the Tommy stream, and it's really not as important right now. But initially, this podcast was going to be called the Lolcow Podcast.
Okay.
And that one was run by Keem, Boogie, like the same setup they had now.
I'm not going to have a lot to say about this because we've already kind of covered this all before. You know, I've talked about this all.
Morrison, the guy who created the Fupa Fund, and it was just some guy with video game attorney in his name.
It was some guy, and by the way...
Sorry, I was checking something there. Sorry, I just suddenly realized I just want to check something here in the background for it. Okay.
I've talked
We've
to
all
someone
seen this
behind
kind of
the scenes
before.
who I've asked to look into that dude, and he thinks that this video game attorney is not even an attorney. Is not even a fucking lawyer.
What do you think of the claim Boogie's on TikTok to get kids? Who made this up? Was it Frank? I have no idea. I'm sure it was just some troll at some point said it. Because there are some trolls who will just believe that. I don't buy it. I don't like. I'm sorry. I just don't. Is he like a weirdo on TikTok? Yeah. Does he like do like collabs with like really young looking women? But they all look like they're off age. You know. I just think he's a weirdo. I think certainly he would like to be there to like duet with like hot 19-year-olds. I think he's more than happy with that. But I don't think he's there to meet children. I think that's kind of silly, crazy. I think it is weird that he always does it shirtless because he's like, well, I don't take it seriously. It's like, yeah, but you look like a weirdo. You should realize that, and just for your own self, so you're just not looking like a weirdo. Just choose to not do that. That should just be like a standard thing. Like the thing about Boogie is there's like a billion things Boogie can do to just improve himself and fix his life, and he just chooses to never do them ever. So yeah, that's what I think about it.
He's just named video game attorney. Yeah. So
these guys get fucking catfish, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, but apparently the reason why he got involved, because I talked to Boogie about this, is because this guy messaged Boogie and was like, hey, I want to do this. And Boogie was like, oh, it's video game attorney. So he just added him and was like, hey, Keem, it's video game.
Oh, wait, so it was Boogie? I thought it was... They originally blamed Wings, and then they blamed DSP, so it was Boogie who did this? Oh, that's interesting.
Attorney. And I was like, did you check his profile picture to see that he had, like, 1,000 followers instead of like 100,000? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, we'll just fuck.
Yeah, it was a big.
Just stop fucking talking to me. I can't do this anymore.
So he apparently, I don't know. I don't even know if this is true. I was told that he like got the website and the trademarks. You told me that wasn't true, but either way, it was just safer to start and rebuild. And I mean, we did it, and then they go to record, and Tommy got fucking COVID, so they had to wait another week and shit like that. We finally hired an editor, and I guess the editor accidentally stole from a channel. Did you see that?
Oh, really?
Apparently, I feel bad. Can we get that guy's name? I want to just verbally shout that. I know everything's good now, and Keem has spoken to him, but let me get that right now, because honestly,
who did they steal
I don't
from?
think that's cool to just rip that guy's shit.
Why would they need to take someone's content? That's weird.
The content creator was named Dick Stroking Phil Vlog.
Guys, make sure you support Dick Stroking Phil Vlogs. Dude has 11k. He doesn't need our help. I'm a small channel compared to him. This guy's getting hundreds of thousands of views. Make sure you go and subscribe. What the fuck is this? I wasn't expecting that.
Christ,
all right, we'll make sure we speak
good
to our
work.
editor about that one. But
Yes.
I heard DSP fucking is seething about this entire podcast.
Oh, he is, yeah.
He was coping about it on like his.
I think he was seething about Turkey Tom's as well.
No, that's like the thing I'm least knowledgeable about is the DSP stuff.
Yeah,
I've been so into the whole Muda Boogie angle right now, but like
I'm actually kind of same. I've always said DSP. I think it's just too boring. As a lot, he makes too much content and he's just like kind of dull. His haters are not nearly as bad as Wings' haters for watching at the very least. I don't know, as people, I think they hacked his bank account or something like that through social engineering. So I think they're probably pretty bad too. But like their content's easier to watch, you know, than Wings is, where I feel like they just want to like murder him or something like that.
DSP just keeps saying how much he doesn't care about this podcast. He doesn't care about all this stuff getting done. He doesn't want to work with Keem. No interest in any of this stuff. But the minute we release something, all of a sudden he has so much to say about it. I thought that was really funny.
Well, he gave a lot of shit when Tom released his documentary on him. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I still need to watch that. I still haven't watched that yet.
You want to talk about DSP?
It is the Lolcow podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
So I dropped this video.
I'm happy with this. I want to see
long.
more.
I just dropped it actually. And the title is A Decade of Failure, which, I mean, it is a little clickbaity because I want people to watch it, but it's also accurate.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Like many Lolcows, a lot of failure, not a lot of success, and it covers actually more like a decade and a half. It's about 14 years. But
I want to make a point, guys, and we're all going to be surprised by this, but I just was like checking something here in the background, and this live stream is actually still monetized. I've noticed that my live streams haven't been getting demonetized as hard recently because most of my live streams recently have actually all been approved for monetization after appeal. So they actually haven't demonetized this live stream yet. I'm actually genuinely stunned. That used to be a recurring joke. Is because I used to live stream and then within seconds they'd demonetize me, which didn't really make a difference. It just means afterwards I wouldn't get any ads on it. But I always thought that was funny.
Cade sounds better than 14 years, I think. Actually,
they're finally trusting me to make content again.
So I dropped the video. Phil hasn't seen it. At least he says he hasn't seen it. He went on stream and he was like,
"Yeah, that's one thing I noticed." Boogie put like a community tab post about like trolls or something like that. And trolls are asking. I think it's to do with that Johnny Fox situation that someone mentioned last time. But he was like saying, going like, we don't censor people here. You know, we support free speech for them to criticize each other. I was like, Boogie, I remember your video from last year that YouTube kills creators for millions of dollars, where you were ranting about like YouTube allowing people to criticize you and Wings Redemption and DSP because you're all fat and autistic. That was Boogie's own words. And his like full rant about it and how he's been working for 5 years with his like YouTube manager to get these accounts taken down. And now he's posting community tab posts being like, I support people's freedom of speech to talk negatively about me. It's like, bullshit you do, bro.
So, listen, I'm not getting involved in drama, okay? I know everybody wants to watch the Turkey Tom video. Drama. And honestly, I've heard good things about it. You know, I've heard it's good. I've heard it's nothing too crazy. But I will say, Turkey Tom, I have a question for you here. Why do you call it a decade of failure? I mean, a decade of decline would be more accurate. A decade of falling. A decade of
my God.
disaster
Oh
would be
my
more
God,
accurate.
dude.
Failure. I mean, Turkey Tom, I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Imagine, obviously, he's just... this is why I don't watch Phil, because he just seems like the most miserable person who's ever existed. He genuinely just... Like, Boogie comes across as, like, miserable, but in a different way. Miserable, where he's, like, trying to convince you that he's happy. Like, DSP just comes across, like, genuinely fucking miserable.
Okay, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Oh, my
I'm doing
God.
great. I'm not getting involved in drama.
I fucking hate it when he says I'm doing great, because it's
always
every
doing
time I
great.
go to his streams, it's always just like, hey guys, that fucking tip goal hasn't been met yet.
Every
Dude,
time.
His fan base, if DSP could fucking get the audience to direct deposit a paycheck into the fucking DSP Gaming like super chat fund, that's exactly how it would be.
So DSP, he was like saying stuff like, you know, Decade of Failure is just totally inaccurate. And I thought it was a fine title. But he also made a big habit of like I think there were 2 streams he talked about it on. Shout out to, I believe it's something about a poem on Twitter. I can't remember his name. And then Duty streams on YouTube for clipping this stuff.
Oh, yeah, Duty.
And Phil was like, I'm doing great. You know, how can I be a failure if I'm doing great? I'm happier than I've ever been. And it's like, I'm not saying he's definitely miserable, but when somebody's constantly trying to say, I'm doing great, I'm doing great, I'm doing great, you do kind of start to wonder, like, is he really doing that great? Yeah, and obviously there's a lot of e-begging on those streams as well, which is like, is that what's making you happy? It's hard for me to tell. At the end of the day, I'm not here to speculate on, like, what Phil's happiness level is. I just want to make a video that's entertaining about him. He said he's not going to watch it because he wants to avoid drama. He also kind of alluded to the Lolcow podcast a little bit.
He should probably just, like, that's the thing I never get about Phil. Phil should just, like, react to it. Like, he's trying to avoid drama. Okay, I get it. Like, you know, but maybe it's just like me because of Boogie, because I'm jaded that anytime someone says they're avoiding drama, I know they're just lying. But, like, he'd probably make money if he, like, reacted to it. Because I think he didn't he used to do it? He reacted to, like, the Wings of Redemption, and he reacted to Keemstar. Like, I think the June the King or the Freddie Knudsen or something like that on one of them. I can't remember who it was, but he used to react to their live streams, and I think they were pretty financially beneficial for him because he did them more than once. I think he wouldn't have done it a second time if it didn't work out the first time.
He was like, people are trying to rope me into their drama, and I'm not having any of it, okay? I won't do it. No paycheck is worth it to me. So that's what he said.
But, and this is the fucked up thing about it. He'll, like, guilt trip his audience. He's like, oh, man, I'm running out of fuck. Listen, guys, if you don't fucking donate to these streams, you're not going to get this quality fucking content. Can I just say for the record, I fucking hate it when DSP says his streams and videos are like this quality fucking content that should be put up in the fucking Louvre. It makes no fucking sense. You know how easy it is to make DSP's videos? Dude, I fucking wish all I had to do was fucking scratch my balls in the fucking morning, load up the newest game, open up OBS, and start fucking recording and just fucking smash my face through a video game.
I remember the first time I ever posted in King Cobra JFS. In his live chat on YouTube, it was my first ever message, just like DSP. My first ever message to DSP. My first ever message to King Cobra got me banned as well because King Cobra was ranting. He was in one of those like grumpy moods where he sits there with his arms folded, just waiting for donations to show up, and he was like complaining because people were complaining that he wasn't live streaming enough, and he said live stream's hard, and this is like last year, and I said, bro, I stream too. It is genuinely the easiest thing in the world, especially what he does. You know, and what I do as well, because I just, you know, I don't create, I just sit there and watch stuff on live streams. Like, making videos is considerably harder. Live streams, you just sit there and watch and talk. As long as you can talk, you're generally okay on a live stream, especially if you're just playing video games. Like, and Cobra just instantly bombed me. He's like, it's much harder than you think it is. It's a really difficult, stressful job. And I was like, bro, this is super easy. Like, DSP, like, yeah, he genuinely has one of the easiest jobs, like, imaginable. Like, that is all he does is just sit there, play video games, and, like, this is why I don't follow him, because he just, like, streams for, like, hours a day, it seems, and then he cuts them all up into, like, fucking 10-minute chunks. That's at least that's what he used to do. I don't know, maybe he doesn't do it anymore, but I used to remember he used to do, like, a live stream for 2 hours, and then just cut it up into, like, 12 parts, and upload all 12 parts in one go online to try and maximize how much money you got from them. And I was like, bro, seriously?
It's so condescendingly fucking awful. The DSP, like, puts this whole facade up, like, he's out there creating these like, he's like, I'm sitting here recording 3 podcasts a day and fucking 2 gaming streams.
He's been doing that forever, though.
Yeah,
he's
been
doing it for like 15 years.
But how much fucking effort is that, Tom? It's like he opens up OBS, hits start record, stop record, and then maybe, maybe he throws that into a fucking editor, slices like some endpoints, and then just renders that out and sends it to YouTube. Fuck, he doesn't even have to do that shit. He just stops, record, starts, and then sends that slop up to YouTube. The man is the lowest effort.
I'm saying
that's what I should start doing. That's what I should start doing. I should start, when I do my live streams, I should do reactions and live streams, and then take down the live stream afterwards and cut it up. Now that I've got my new computer on the way, I can render things like that. I could do a live stream. I could react to 3 videos. They could take the money from the live stream, take down the live stream, upload the 3 videos, get the money from the 3 videos. Just do that. We're raking it up. It's just like DSP.
He's been saying that he's like, I treat it like a job for 15 years. That's what he's been talking about for so fucking long. And he's like one of these guys that, like, you know, at a certain point, you have to stop talking about the work and actually do it. This is a guy who took like 7 years to stop using his camera, capturing his fucking TV.
1 hour pre-stream, exactly. The pre-streams.
So I think it's fair to say that DSP is not exactly putting in the most effort to his stuff. And this weird, like, he has like this like principled position of like, I'm not interacting with Keemstar because he's a bad dude.
I need more thumbnales. That's
I feel
a good
like
point.
to me he seems dumb because like Keemstar, he has his moments.
I won't care. I'll make so much money. I'll hire people to do thumbnails for me because they just have to be my level of thumbnail. So they'll get like, I don't know, £1 per thumbnail.
He's not fucking evil, firstly. And secondly, DSP can only gain from working.
I agree. I don't think DSP's evil. I think
he's in a ton of debt.
Idiot.
How else is he going to pay for his WWE Superstars
evil.
debt if he's not fucking doing the Lolcow podcast?
Dude, for as dumb as we say Boogie is, DSP is dumber.
DSP is like is dumber when it matters, but he's not as like pathological with the lies. I would say he's not as crazy. DSP.
See, I don't think DSP is dumb for the Lolcow podcast thing. I think he honestly probably believed that he could probably swing like for Boogie and Wings to work with him instead of working with Keem. I think he honestly thought he could do that, not realizing that Boogie is like literally just tied to Keem's nutsack at this point. DSP is like Boogie, because like Boogie has been mysteriously silent, about I'm so broken, bankrupt, guys. Ooh, I feel sorry for me. Mysteriously, he has not mentioned the 50,000. My girlfriend do it. I think she probably has a little artistic talent as I do. Can you do it with crayons? I don't know. I think DSP is just like Boogie. He does not want to say to his audience, I got 50 grand. Because Boogie hasn't mentioned it. I don't think DSP, because DSP's gimmick is to say he's constantly broke and he needs money. DSP does not want to tell everyone, I just got 50 grand, by the way. Because then people are like, oh, well, it's not as you're not desperate anymore. We don't need to donate as much to you. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want people to know he got a large amount of money in one go. So I think that's probably the thing with DSP.
He's honestly pretty boring. Lately, Wings has been more boring than him because Wings is like just like chilling out.
Yeah, Wings is super chill.
Historically, to me, is like the most boring Lolcow.
Yep.
Like, in a 2-hour aggregate, it's like good. But like when you're watching Boogie, at least there's something there that's entertaining, right? With DSP, 9 out of 10 hours is like unwatchable.
Yep.
You
Well,
can't
9 out of 10 hours.
That's like, with my type of content, if I did it on something like DSP, where I sit there and watch like the live stream in full and take notes, like with Boogie, you could take a note every minute. You could take at least 2 notes a minute sometimes. Because he lies so often, so frequently, and says such stupid shit so often. Like, when I used to do my monthly recap, there was so much I had to cut out, because I could probably go for hours about it if I really wanted to. Because he lies so often. And then the problem with him lying so often is to beat his lies pretty much. You would then have to go and do research and get counter evidence and stuff like that. And that's what I'm finding with the documentary right now. That's why it's taking so long. Because it's so often, and he talks about things so often because he just doesn't really live like an interesting life. It's why he tells the same story so often, why they contradict each other so often. DSP, if I had to sit there and watch his entire live stream, I imagine I could watch his entire live stream and then just like out of like 10 hours, maybe it'd be like 10 notes or something like that. He just said, well, yeah, okay. He said he never mentioned the blood cancer. He claimed he didn't mention the blood cancer because when Total Biscuit mentioned the blood cancer, everyone stopped watching him, so he didn't want to mention the blood cancer anymore and just have it as a private battle. And then literally a day later, he was like vague tweeting about how the blood cancer is worse than they thought it was, and how he's scared and his health is getting so bad and his like medical fees are going up because it's worse, everything like that. So yeah, he instantly started talking about the blood cancer like literally instantly after the documentary. So he was just talking on his ass, which suggests either he was doing it for drama's sake because he wanted people to talk about it not being in there, or it was not like a proven thing. And because he said he put up everything that was proven, if Mike Klum saw it, if it was on his verified chart of medical illnesses, Mike Klum included it, but for some reason he didn't include that. Just like he didn't include PTSD or an eating disorder, which Boogie also claimed he had, or at one point he claimed he had bipolar, autism as well, which he claimed he had. So there's quite a few things that Boogie has claimed he has that mysteriously did not appear on that. Probably the biggest one is the PTSD.
Is just fucking no word. Dude, you watch any of his live streams, he barely interacts with the chat, barely interacts with his fucking
except
community.
to ask for money.
Yeah, literally. It's like fucking I can condense his entire streams for the people watching this podcast. It's literally like fucking spare change, please. Guys, I'm gonna lose the fucking house. And then like here's the fucked up part about DSP. Somebody did the accounting on him and he made like fucking, I think it's some insane amount every month. Like he makes 6 figures a fucking year, apparently.
He does.
And somehow definitely. That's still not enough to fucking live off. Somehow he's still crying fucking, I'm about to be in the poorhouse the next week, okay? Like shit.
Dude, he challenges my Fortnite item shop addiction. By the way, use code Diorio to help
you.
Dude, he's literally...
I wonder if I did that one. I haven't actually, I don't think I've used this code. I'm going to have to. Yeah, that's the thing. Is the thing with DSP, is that he makes loads of money. It's why I don't believe Boogie when Boogie claims how little he makes. It's like, I don't buy it. At this point, I don't buy it. And I'm not, because I know, like, DSP, people, like, track how much he actually earns. You have, like, a website for tracking his, like, donations and shit like that. With Boogie, like, I'm the main guy, I think, who would record something like that. And I like, at least he does, like, content. Like, people on Kiwi Farms certainly are much more knowledgeable than I am. But I couldn't be bothered to do stuff like that. And it's so uninteresting because I just don't believe him. So I'm at the stage where I don't believe him, and I feel like I don't even need to look at evidence because he's lied so much about finances that I can see and I can prove. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I feel I don't need to check your individual income because that's too far even for me.
Like, dude, at this point, he's gonna be on fucking streams asking tips to buy the cat food now. Okay, he's like, hey,
He
guys,
has done
listen, if
that,
you don't
hasn't
fucking
he?
donate
I'm sure he's
during
done
this
that.
playthrough of like Alan Wake 2, fucking the kitty ain't gonna eat. All
I'm
right?
sure
You
he's
guys
done
are-
that.
Like, this is how fucking guilt trippy it is. This is my thing about content creation and money, right? Like, I'll give some context. Ever since the apocalypse happened, I've never done YouTube like full time ever. There was a thought of doing YouTube full time, right? Because I was like, oh, you know, the money is good, and it's great now.
I
Like,
would
don't get me
never
wrong,
do
like,
it
it's good,
full
I
time,
can live full
ever.
time. But the
Not reliable
apocalypse
enough.
kicked off such a fucking like mental thing in my head that it's the moment when we started our own company and just started doing work outside of YouTube. So like, you know, God forbid if like the channel had like, you know, completely tanked or something, then I wouldn't fucking be out on the streets, you know? Like I would have my own thing or I would have a more stable lifestyle. So when I see a creator like DSP Online who made a fuck ton of money at some point, just squander that shit away, and now he's fucking begging to the scraps and having principal positions. That's like a piss off. It should piss people off.
It's extremely frustrating, and like that's part of why I called it like, you know, a decade of failure.
Isn't it like isn't what he's saying literally exactly applicable to Boogie though as well? You know, why not didn't you say it was easy? Because I don't want to. Like, I don't want to because it's not reliable. It's easy to make the content, but it's not easy to make sure that you always have like an actual audience who are there to watch you and where you would make enough money to sustain yourself. Because like right now, based on what Boogie claims, like my day job, I get more money than Boogie does. Based on what he claimed he got last year, I get a reasonable amount more than what Boogie does. Just with my day job. Not including any money, little bits I get from YouTube, because I don't really get very much from YouTube. But like, it's that level. Like, why would I quit my day job to try and invest heavily into this? You know? It doesn't make sense to me. If you can do both, I think you should do both. But that's me. I'm also quite a money-orientated person. So, like, if I can like do like these little like streams or videos or stuff in my free time and also work, I think that's just like more beneficial because you're just making sure you have a sustainable income, because then you're not like Boogie where you're like having to quit and then go into job interviews and go like, oh, I haven't worked in 16 years and worked in the porn, like that kind of shit, because that's embarrassing. Hey Donna.
Because Phil is somebody who, like, look at how many fucking Joe Schmoes would kill to be a YouTuber, especially a YouTube Let's Player. Like, Phil had a pretty easy job. And despite that, like, he spent his money on mobile games, on stupid shit, like, on a new BMW he didn't need. And, like, you can get that car eventually, but, like, you just need to, like, you need to stack and save and be smart.
His BMW was the funniest shit that I've ever seen. Nick, did you ever see his BMW?
No.
I don't remember the BMW.
This guy, he leased a BMW and for like fucking years did not do an oil change on it because he believed that the car had the diagnostic computer that would tell him when everything is okay. This is the level of fucking brain damage this fuck has. Like, this guy cannot maintain shit whatsoever. This guy will overpay for the dumbest crap when he has money. That's why you don't have sympathy.
The fact that he's getting mad.
And yeah, you're right as well. Yeah.
I understand it's fun to shit on DSP, but we're literally on a fucking Keemstar promoted podcast. Do you remember, Tom, about the fucking Internet J video that Keem had a temper tantrum over? It was like the rise and fall of Keemstar. Do you remember that?
Keem was like,
Oh, Donna, thank you very much for the super chat. You always make me laugh. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, like I was saying, I like Keem, but like, you know, Keem is, you know, he has Lolcow moments, certainly. You know, the fact people can make like massive drama channels on him, like I get that, you know, but it's also like a thing. He's like you said, you know, like it kind of does keep you sane having like a life away from this, because like I couldn't imagine just sitting there all day just researching Lolcows. I couldn't, because like your hobby stops being fun when it becomes your job, you know.
never had a fall.
He's like, I never had a fall. You should change the title to The Rise and Continued Rise of Keemstar. And he like screamed at him. They had a private call.
And then Ajay changed it.
And Egg Bun is actually 100% right, because I've actually used that example as well. Having a day job also exposes you to the real world, which is true. Like, the shit Boogie fucking cries about and goes crazy about, you know, online. It's like, this person told me to put a bullet in my fucking mouth. Oh my god. You know, that shit. It's like, bro, have you ever worked retail? Have you ever worked retail and had someone in your face screaming at you and going fucking nuts? That is so much worse. Like, the shit, like Frank Hassel coming to his house. Like, obviously, it's an extra level of bad because the person came to your house. I understand that entirely. But, like, the shit Frank was saying to him, that shit you might get on a night out. Some guy being like, I'm gonna fucking grape you. You know, that kind of shit. Yeah, you might get some guy mouthing off at you like that, and he's drunk.
If you're in a position
you're probably drunk as well. That has more chance of escalating than the Frank Hassel situation did. And neither of them have a fucking gun. You know? Like, a lot of people, like I said, Boogie just thinks like what I'm going through is so hard. But it's like, bro, like working retail is hard. Being like a 16-year-old working like Subway or something like that is harder than what Boogie has to put up with. Because when you're a 16-year-old working in Subway, that guy is in your face screaming at you, and you have to put up with it because you're sitting going like, well, what am I meant to do here? Like, especially like you're a wee 16-year-old. That guy, wants to beat you up. What are you gonna do about it? Like, what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna hit the panic button and call the police and hope the police show up in time while this guy's beating you up? Boogie has to deal with, well, this guy said I'm a cock. It's like, okay, block him and move on with your life and don't care. Just ignore his message. Look at all the dozens upon hundreds of positive messages you get. Maybe just focus on that at some point. He's a casual game shop, I think, at some point. No, he worked at a local gaming store, which is even more chill than like a GameStop, because it's like a local gaming store with like tabletop and shit like that. He also did web design and a porn blog, like Strange said. Even though he doesn't seem to understand what like being like a web designer for a porn blog is, because he said that he was taking pictures of the girls and filming videos and like selling them to like porn people and stuff like that. Which is like, I thought you were like a web designer. The web designers aren't there taking pictures of the girls. That doesn't make sense. That's not like a through line. If you own like a porn company, that would make sense. But if you're just like designing the website, why are you there also taking pictures of the girls? Boogie's claimed that he's in the videos. He's claimed that there are sex videos of him out and about somewhere in the world. I don't believe it, because I'm pretty sure they would have surfaced at this point. But that's what Boogie used to claim. It's like it's one of those things, like I said, it brings a lot of stuff he says into question. When you're just going to go like, you've misrepresented this. I don't even know if this is real anymore.
The title to the rise and fall and like fall again or something. Keemstar. And then Keemstar got him back when Jay lost all his savings in crypto. Keem was like, the rise and fall of your bank account.
Oh god, I remember that was funny. That was really funny.
He lost all his money and he couldn't fuck his hookers anymore.
That's like Boogie again, bro, with those crypto losses and shit. Dude, can we just say on that Rich call, his accounting is so fucked up. To go back to his accounting, I don't even know if he really lost money or gained any money. Like, he just...
Well, that's the problem, because he changed constantly. Like, the thing with Boogie is, with his claim of, like, I had $250,000, other times he claimed $200,000, and he put it all in. Well, other times he claimed he had $250,000 and only put $200,000 in. Other times he claimed he had $250,000 and only put $170,000 in his seed money. He claimed he put it in at 38 in Ethereum, which would mean 2017. And by that point, when he took it out, it should have, like, 30x or something like that. Like, some ridiculous amount. He's all over the place. But if he is telling the truth, and he put in, like, $200, and it went up to $750,000 and crashed $200,000, he was not ruined by a crypto crash because he lost nothing. It's like if you buy a scratch card for £5 and you get £5 back. You didn't... Oh, I lost big on the scratch card because I didn't win the million. I only won 5. It's like, yeah, but that's what you invested, so you didn't lose anything. So Boogie's whole thing about I lost so much... I need your help, guys, because I basically bankrupted myself and doing this crypto. I've lost so much money. It's like, no, you didn't. You ended where you started. So you didn't. It's so weird to hear him talk about it over and over again, because it's like, bro, you literally just went in a circle and ended up back where you were. That's it.
Well, you can't.
I like Nick DiOrio. He's fun.
Apparently half the numbers in that big documentary has got 3 million views. I mean, I know Boogie's claiming that Mike's at fault, but I've heard that he lied about just about everything in that.
Boogie, that's weird though, because Boogie told me. So now that that's out, I feel like I can say this at least, because previously, I don't know if I was supposed to talk about the numbers, but Boogie told me that he embellished the numbers in the doc for the sake of, like,
oh my god.
So, for example,
didn't he tell you that Mike did that? Or didn't he tell Tommy on the podcast?
I got so excited, I double-clicked that. He's told everyone that Mike admitted to ballparking and rounding up those figures. That's what he said. Oh, Christ.
Somewhere he told me that Mike fucked up the numbers.
Yeah, he said that repeatedly.
He told me that he did it, not Mike.
Yeah,
because that's why I didn't watch it.
Maybe he meant Mike did it, but either way, if the numbers were off, Boogie saw the doc before. I saw it before. He could have corrected that, and he chose not to.
Yep, exactly.
Dude, you told me that it wasn't $200,000 to hookers, so I just didn't watch the documentary. I'm like,
it's
this is fake. Yeah.
He told me that it was more like 70,000 on hookers, and the rest were on like trips to Disneyland.
He said 40,000 to Muda. No, he said 40,000 on the actual podcast. Oh my Christ. He said 100,000 to his fans. He said 10,000 to his fans. 70,000 would make more sense, because we already showed how 40,000 doesn't make any sense, because he claimed 13,000 to Lucy Fox alone, and he spent even more than that on the autistic kid lady. So there's no way it could have been 40,000. So 70,000 would make more sense. It's all over the place. It is genuinely all over the place. Also, in the True Geordie podcast, you know, Boogie said he didn't do prostitutes or like escorts because he thought they were gross and weird, and he only ever did sugar babies, and they all chose to fuck him out of the goodness of their souls. He was talking on the True Geordie podcast. He said that the two half-sisters, remember the two half-sisters who collected YouTubers, the ones who had also slept with Logan Paul? He said he paid them. He said, well, I've paid for this, I might as well get involved. Like, he is outright saying that he paid them for it. He said afterwards, we did the dirty deed of exchanging money. He had previously claimed that he had paid just for them to be with dinner with him, and they chose to come up there because they were offering it. Jesus Christ.
What is this, the completionist fucking bank account? Where'd the other $130,000 go, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it's like that number's being floated around a lot because it's so crazy, and I think that shows how much it worked. And the thing is, I don't want to blame Mike. I kind of see Mike as like a peer and like almost a coworker.
Yeah.
I like what he did with the video. I think it's really great.
It is.
It's really good. And overall, it's good for the YouTube community to have higher budget stuff like that moving in. But
this is like a systemic like Keem's telling me he lied about the fucking Happy Punch numbers to make it look like he made $0.
He did. He did lie.
Yeah, apparently he put
the
stuff
thing
on
is, like,
there,
that would not
like
be
his fucking
surprising.
hotel and stuff or whatever. What did he put on there that apparently was
Hotel
paid?
flights, wraps and gloves, MRIs, all those he claimed, and those were all apparently covered. He claimed 2,000 in meals. He claimed 1,000 in Ubers, which is fucking ridiculous. He claimed 2,000 in like physical therapy, which didn't make any sense because he was already had physical therapy in his monthly breakdown anyway, so I don't know why this would be separate. 1,500 for boxing training, which he then admitted he actually did no boxing training whatsoever. Like
coaches or some shit, like
boxing coaches and stuff.
And then I confronted him about that, and he's like, "I didn't catch that. I didn't vet that." I'm like, "But you watched the documentary before. You're like, oh, this thing's gonna like clear all the drama up." And then he lets misinformation fly around. Like this is why.
Tyler's
like,
only one here.
I have disdain.
I'm
for
finishing
him
soon.
because he
Hopefully,
wants
Well, it's
to be this
misinformation that
fucking-
makes him look good. Look at me, I'm a victim. I made $0 for
Yep.
my fight.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is, like, it's difficult to just take Boogie at his word for anything. So
Exactly.
My motto now, it is and has been for a while. Anything Boogie says is probably like 40% true,
Yeah.
I think less.
if that.
Yeah.
And that's being generous.
That's the thing,
Like, a
yeah.
lot of it could just be fake.
Yeah, I work off like 25% for Boogie. I honestly think it is 75% chance he's lying.
So yeah, I mean, he twists things a lot, and he'll come up with weird justifications for it. I don't want him to do that. You know, I don't. After spending time at his house, I mean, to me, he's not an evil person. He's just a giant fuck up. He's a giant fuck up, and he'll probably continue to be that for the foreseeable future.
But do you not see it as
It's so
manipulative?
weird.
Do you not see this
Oh,
as
of
like
course
a
it-
personal-
yeah.
Do you not see it as manipulative that you're a drama channel who talks about him and he invited you to his house? Like, that's my, that's like my mentality. Like, and I like Tom a lot, but do you not think it's like manipulative that you make a video on this guy and he invites you to his house? Like, is that not like, does that not fly a red flag for you? This is weird. Why is this guy inviting me to his house to hang out when he's like making up this shit, calling me a racist, saying I lied about a whole bunch of stuff in my video, and the next thing you know, he invites you to his house? So isn't that like this is a bit weird, bro? Isn't it? You know?
I mean, yeah,
of
it's
course,
absolutely
makes sense.
manipulative. Yeah.
Of course, it's manipulative, but is it hurting anyone other than himself when people find out? Not really.
Well,
I don't know. It
No.
seems pretty like when he acts like, oh, this is all for his fans and stuff like this, and then it turns out he has more sinister motives
Yeah.
and stuff, and he's interacting with people, lying about being swatted for sympathy.
That's true. Yeah. No. Okay. The
don't know,
swatting
man.
thing. You're right.
that's the thing. Like he manipulates his fan base to give him money, which is obviously a bad thing. Especially when his fan base, like the fan base he's trying to cultivate, is him talking about how depressed he is and everything like that, and his fan base are like staking hope on him and stuff like that. And a lot of them you see are like trauma dumping in his chat and stuff like that. So when you have a fan base who are suffering and struggling the same way as you, and they're looking at you as like a beacon of hope, and you are this colossal fuck up who is deliberately manipulating them, like that, I think that is like a directly harmful thing. Especially then when you bring in the woman aspect of it, with like Des too, where I think at this point, where you're sitting there arguing the different points it could be a grave girl situation where she's not really like an actual sugar baby. She's just there trying to get clout for her inevitable OnlyFans or something like that. Is it just a sugar baby thing entirely? Is it like actually real? Or the final option, the final option is if it's real. And if it's real, like, is honestly like the scariest and like the worst potential ending for it, because it's highly suggests that he is just manipulating some autistic girl who was apparently a fan of his, and he has her living in his house, being like totally financially dependent on him, where he is talking about how he is fixing her and he is training her. I have a screenshot from January 2022 where he is literally fucking word for word describing Des. Like, word for word describing Des. And I don't think it was Des. I'm just saying, I don't think it was Des. But he is literally talking about how the girl I'm currently seeing, I'm just me saying off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but he's, the girl I'm currently seeing is so silly to me, because she also has early child onset PTSD, anxiety, and depression, just like me. And I'm working with her to help her get better. I'm being to her who I needed at her age. And it is word for word the shit he is doing for fucking Des too. And it is weird. And like, that girl probably likely a sugar baby too, because this is like 15th of January or some shit like that. But the 31st of December, he was like apparently looking at that hooker on that Eki site that I caught him on, you know? So, and this is a couple days later, so it's like, so which girl are we talking about? Is this the sugar baby? Is this the random fucking escort hooker person? Like, who are we talking about? Who is this marshmallow? That's Nicholas Diorio. He's a good guy. Leave him alone. You know? So it's like, when you're saying stuff like that, when you consistently seem to have a type, when you're like, I am like looking after these women who need me. That it's such a, it's like, I don't like to go super SAW and it's like, oh, it's a power imbalance, guys. But it's kind of, there's kind of a power imbalance, and it suggests like you like to have control over women by looking for these women who desperately need your help, and they need you to look after them, and they need you to fix their self-esteem and everything like that.
That is, yeah. I don't know.
It's pretty
Like,
fucking.
Right. Yeah,
I mean,
I guess just
here,
like
he would be saying he has demons. He's been praying to fucking Satan or something.
he has demons. Yeah, he does have demons. Yeah, thank God Augie's not here. Just kidding. But yeah, it's just fucking. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just like feeling weird about it because I've been texting with Boogie a little bit about this stuff, and but
no, but that's how it is, bro.
But that's so manipulative. Like his face is like perfect. How does Tom not see this? It's like pretty manipulative. That you make videos on him and he's suddenly in your DMs and inviting you to his house and chatting with you, and now you're feeling bad for him. It's what he does. This is just this manipulative thing. It's why I said I would never talk to him. Like, I've enjoyed this more than I've enjoyed the actual podcast. Like, straight up, I enjoyed this definitely more than I enjoyed the podcast. However, at the same time, it feels nearly like a therapy session for Boogie in certain parts of it.
You talk to him for like 20 minutes and he makes you feel really fucking bad for him.
Yeah.
And then you get on stream and you're like, guys, come on. All right, listen, he didn't really mean it like that.
Yeah.
That just means he won.
Yeah.
That means he got you.
Oh,
you
right.
lost.
That's why I don't feel bad anytime I talk to him. Like, anytime he'll tell me about how bad his life is, I'm like, all right, what are you doing to fix it?
The
Nothing?
tacos
Okay,
and
cool,
pizza
go fuck
treatment,
yourself.
yeah.
Like,
we spent $150 just for Tom to eat.
I'm sorry if
the
it
thing
sounds
is,
hard when I say that, yeah.
You're right. Like, even at his house, like, I was just, I'll get into it more with the video, but there's like a series of, his living expenses a month are very high, and it should not be, like, it's higher than, like, probably higher than like my fucking 4-person family. Like,
is it like the Destiny memes where he's covering people who do like 10 grand per year on Uber Eats, and you're like, how do I get these numbers down?
It's like that kind of.
Yeah, it's like when they do their accounting, it's like fucking it's like rent 700.
I'm gonna have to get this video out before he fucking drops this fucking this video, because I'm sure it'll give me more stuff to talk about in mine. So I need to get mine out soon.
50 food 200 OnlyFans 7,000. It's like, oh
hookers,
shit.
like,
what can you shave in your budget, right? Like, fuck.
Well, he's like hookers, but in reality it's only hookers.
Even when I talked to him about it too, he's like on Rich's stream, he was talking about how his place's loan had matured and he might as well pay it off. And I'm like, dude, if you can't afford your house, right, there's no shame in downsizing.
Yep.
You know? And the stupidest shit is the comment section to that stuff. There was one comment I was reading is like, Muda doesn't understand. Is there really a big difference between 2,200 and 900? I'm like, yeah, dumbass.
Yes.
That's a pretty big fucking difference in your
difference.
monthly fucking upkeep.
Massive.
You can just pay your rent for 900.
This is the thing. Boogie stands like, it's gonna sound really rude. I've never seen a Boogie fan who I've been like, you seem smart. I've never once. And to be fair, Boogie probably feels the same about his haters. I've never seen a Boogie fan and I've been like, you look like some guy who's got your shit together. You look like some guy who's like really clued in, because your takes are either just plainly stupid, not understanding just the world in general, or like are really weird and really incel. Like, because people know I often make jokes. Like when I said when I was watching his divorce streams, the people sending in super chats addressing Dez, being like, do you not understand what this man has gone through and you're doing this to him? And just shit like that. And it's like, bros, stop being fucking creepy. Sending in super chats addressed to his wife to tell her off for divorcing him. Like, creepy. Or people like arguing, because like Dez had texted him being like, can you please stop airing this online? And Boogie refused. He just kept doing it for like another 20 minutes. And she had like texted me like, can you please stop, you know, having this meltdown online and discussing our divorce? And like he was talking about like, Dez has never cheated on me. Do you know why? Because she's not a sexual person. I'm the only person she's ever been attracted to. Shit like that. And it's like, bro, this is not your stuff to tell. To try and own the haters who are laughing that you got cucked, you're saying like her personal shit, implying that she got like abused or something like that because she doesn't trust men and she's scared around men and stuff like that. That is not your shit to say. And Boogie's fan base are coming in going, how dare she tell you you're not allowed to talk about this? Is your life, you know, and she expects you not to talk about this. You're a professional streamer. Of course you're going to talk about this. She should understand that. And it's like, bro, fuck off. Just fuck off, you mentalist.
But then Boogie's like, I have to have family living with me. I'm like, you can't find
imagine doing a project with him and having to pay him money, knowing that it's gonna, and he's telling you he's gonna be spent wisely, and you know it's gonna be spent on like fucking Taco Bell. Like, imagine doing that.
Taco Bell, hookers. See, but that's the other thing. Watching his documentary made me feel no sympathy because, like, he's sitting there detailing, like, he's giving you the fucking laundry list of all his health issues, and then after he's like, all right, engorge on this fucking Taco Bell, like, quesadilla. I'm like, well, then why the fuck should I feel bad if you yourself don't care? Like, that's the
way
thing.
the way that he like phrases it to me is like, he's like and maybe this is real just because of the fact that like he's so fat and he won't stop being fat. Like he's like powerless to his urges. Like almost like a heroin addict, like needs fucking heroin.
No, but dude, he's like
he
look at me, I'm so broke, and
he's
he's surrounded by arcade machines.
Oh, well, the arcade machines he got for free, to be fair, and they're like $100 each. So like people focus in on that so much, and I'm nearly at the point where I think Boogie keeps those front and center so people can keep saying that, and he can be like, those don't cost that. They didn't cost me anything. You guys don't understand. I think Boogie nearly keeps them there just to fuck with people at this point because people always focus on him. It's just so fucking silly.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's another part of it. It's like he says he's broke, and he also lives in an expensive house. I've been to that house.
Yeah.
It's a very nice house, and it's also way too big for him to be living there. And I believe he owns some other property or something.
He does, his mom's house.
That he got from a family member he inherited or something that he just owns somewhere else that he like refuses to sell, which I was like, why don't you just do something with that? And like once again, the Lolcow gene, like he just refuses to.
And to be fair, those are one-up machines. They're more affordable, but
Yeah.
still, it's
I mean,
like, hey, look at me, I'm Boogie 298. Look,
fucking-
I'm so poor. Look at all my fucking decorations outside. Wow, look at this. My house looks like the
Tell that
nicest
idiot
Halloween
to
house in the
stop buying.
block.
Tell that idiot to stop buying one-up machines. Just go buy for all those one-up machines.
All
you
right,
go buy
let's
one
not
nice
get fucking
arcade.
drastic, Muda. Okay.
That's true.
Like
yeah.
you're talking to somebody who owns 13 arcade one-up machines. Calm down, buddy.
Dude, just get one nice retro pie arcade. All right. Like,
No,
fucking-
dude, it's about the nostalgia. Okay. All right, this is not why we're here. I'll talk to you about this after, but. So there's been a few more issues with the podcast. I wanted to address those real quick since we did the Boogie Hour, the DSP Hour, and then the more fucking...
I was about to say, it is so funny that you did the Lolcow podcast. Wings of Redemption doesn't even get mentioned. Tommy C, who I guess is also technically one of the guys, not mentioned at all. It's just like a therapy session for Boogie. For a lot of it is people like coming to terms with how they feel about Boogie, which I think is hilarious. Admittedly, that's what my live stream was as well, I guess.
Boogie Hour. I see people are mixed on Tommy C. Half the people hate
never
him,
mind.
the other
There you
half
go.
love him. If you hate him, you immediately will hate me because I'm the guy who got him the job, and I thought he did great.
I thought he
I
did
don't know.
fine.
Do you think that
Just
you kind of
fine,
need that
you
middle
know?
guy in between the two of them to get the show on correctly?
To be honest, I'm kind of indifferent to how like the audience feels. Like my worst fear was like people would just see it as boring. The fact that people are like into it and like talking about it, you know, regardless if it's positive or negative, I feel like is good.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
I'm
is.
blown
It's
away.
good.
100,000
And at the end of the
views in
day,
24 hours.
it's not the friendship podcast, it's the Lolcow podcast.
Yep.
By the end of every
I agree
episode,
with
someone's
everything
going
you
to come
said there.
across being unlikable. So, you know, I'm cool with it. I think it's good.
I agree with their attitude because like Boogie's attitude of like, well, I don't care if I'm liked or not. I'm just here for the dollar bill. It's like, Boogie, you care immensely if people like you or not. So don't bring it out of it. It makes you just look silly. But for the Lolcow podcast, yes, they should not care if it's a negative or positive reception as long as people are watching and talking about it. That's all they really need.
Well, I was reading this, and you'll see, like, there are people who have different takes on, like, the same interaction. They're like, this Tommy guy keeps fucking interrupting people. He's the worst. And the next guy will be like, dude, thank God Tommy interrupted Boogie.
Yeah.
Just sitting there feeling
Yeah,
bad
see?
for himself for, like, 25 minutes.
And this
he
is
could
good. It's
literally
good- it's
talk
good
for an
that-
hour about how big of a victim he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why he's here.
It's good that there's a discussion, and Tommy had the same kind of thing with Baited, where there was like a certain amount of people that really liked his presence, and a certain amount that were like he's fucking useless. But I think that if he wasn't there, it would be tough. I think he needs to be there.
I think
I've noticed-
if he wasn't there, the Lolcow podcast would generally be torture because I think it would be Boogie. I don't know how many podcasts I've watched of Boogie. There's nothing funnier than watching him on the True Geordie podcast, and he says something like, "The thing why girls like me is that 16-year-old boys in Arkansas, you need to do better. Young guys in Arkansas, you need to do better because I found out that they don't know how to treat women. No one knows how to talk to women at all. But women, they all come to me because they know I can talk to them. Because I sit down and go like, no, but how are you? Tell me about your life. And I'm only interested in them. I don't talk about myself. And it's like, Boogie, I've seen you on every podcast where you literally just talk about yourself and you don't ask anyone questions. You ignore topics that aren't interesting to you. PK used to take a piss out of you because you would just sit there and just like zone out if they talked about something that he wasn't interested in. Boogie does not give a fuck about other people. Eggman, I said 16. I think he said 16, but I'm not entirely sure. I think he just said young guys. I don't know why 16 came to my head, but that's what came to my head, I guess. But it was just like, he was just like I always talk about the girls, and I only ever just listen to the girls, and that's all I really care about. And I remember the Big Stack podcast, exactly Strange. The Big Stack podcast, Boogie just sat there, just talked about himself the entire time. They would talk about news stories, and every time they talked about a news story, Boogie would somehow just twist it back to being like, yeah, well, I've met the creator of that game. Yeah, we went out, we sat down, we talked for a while. Yeah, that guy, me and him, we talk occasionally on Twitter. Boogie would just turn every story to be about himself, just every single time. So like this nonsense where it's like the girls like me because I always just sit there and just listen to them and ask them about them. Lucy Fox came out and just said outright that Boogie was the type of person who would just sit there and just whine at her fucking constantly, and it was so frustrating. I believe her. Seeing how Boogie interacts with other people is the biggest problem with Boogie always claiming, like, I obviously am not abusive to women. I can't be abusive to women because, firstly, I'm too fat and ugly. Women just wouldn't deal with it. Also, I can't be abusive to women because they could just leave my house if they wanted to. This is why I wrote a note that said, one of the biggest reasons I find it hard to believe that Boogie really went through as much abuse when he was young as he claimed is because he does not seem to understand abuse and dynamics. He doesn't seem to understand how people interact with each other. Because he literally thinks, I can't be abusive because I'm too fat and too ugly. Women wouldn't put up with it. They only put up with abuse from good-looking people. That is genuinely a thought Boogie has in his fucking head. Or, well, I can't be abusive to Lucy Fox. She didn't live with me. How could I be abusive to her? She didn't live with me. She just came over. So how can I be abusive? That is seriously what he thought about Lucy Fox. If I was abusive to her, why did she come the next time? Bro, there are some women who will go back 70 fucking times. Like, it is so weird the way he acts, like, because he just acts like women just, if a woman is abused once, they're instantly like, oh, I have been abused, I am now leaving, and that is it. He thinks that is how women act when they're being picked on or abused. And I'm not sure, maybe he actually believes that. Maybe he doesn't think his actions are abusive, even though people probably would consider his actions to be abusive, because he's like, well, she stayed with me, so clearly I'm not abusive. That is probably, honestly, how Boogie fucking sees things and thinks about things. So it is so weird watching him sit there and fucking talk about things. And you're just like, bro, I don't know like how much you can talk about abuse when you genuinely don't understand like what abuse actually is. You know, he doesn't understand what can be considered abusive.
Wing stock is like through the roof. Immortal Destructor said Boogie making Wings of Redemption seemed like a functional
yes, exactly.
Wings has been on a roll recently in general.
He has.
Yeah.
Since the boxing, he really has. Yep.
Since the fight, he's just been a cool...
Yeah, and Boogie tried to like play down the Wings bit, because Wings said that ever since the fight, he got like... So he's gotten so little trolling compared to what he used to get after the fight. And Boogie's immediate response is, well, that's because you won. And it's like, no, because he put in effort. Because Wings had like 2 months to prepare. And how much weight did he lose? Did he lose like 20 pounds or something like that? He actually was out there. He saw him like videos of him walking with his wife. He was out there. He's doing boxing training and stuff like that. He was actually out there doing stuff and actually trying. Boogie, who was apparently getting ready for a fight last May against Sam Hyde, basically had a full year to get ready. He came in exactly the fucking same weight, fat, out of breath. He could barely get through the ring ropes. He could barely fucking move. He didn't throw a single fucking punch. That's why Boogie did not get a lift after the fight. Because people look at him and go like, oh, you've spoken for ages about how you're such a motivation to like the normal person out there. You're such an amazing person. And then you show up and you didn't do a single bit of fucking training. You didn't do a single bit of fucking training. And you're out here sitting there, like, expecting people to love you. Wings actually put effort in. That's why people appreciate Wings. Because he actually looked like he tried.
Dude, man, like, dude, if anybody that, like, I don't even have to cheer for anymore, it's Wings, man. Like, I feel like he can flip his shit around.
Yep.
I feel like he could revitalize his entire career more than anybody else in that Lolcow.
He's just way
more than anyone else in the Lolcow sphere. I agree, but I think Wings he's probably too tarnished a brand. I don't think once you drop that low, you would be able to pull yourself out. I just don't think. I don't think like because if you want to make it big in Let's Playing nowadays, I think you have to be like super crazy and super over the top nowadays, because a lot of people who watch Let's Plays are either like VTuber fans, because VTubers obviously play a lot of Let's Plays, or you have to be particularly young. You know, I think you have to be like young and full of energy to get a young audience. I don't see many Let's Players like who are like as big or stay as big when they're like 40. I just don't think it's a thing anymore.
More likable too in general. Like
yeah, the thing
I'd hang out
like,
with Wings. I think he's likable. Yeah,
hate,
I have no issue with him.
Every time I watched any clip from him, it just literally was depressing. Like there were clips of him just straight up like crying and shit. And don't get me wrong, like he's done some pretty shitty things. He said some pretty shitty things. Treated people kind of shitty when he's playing Siege with them or whatever. But I kind of chalk it up to like everyone has like a bad day every once in a while, right? Like whatever. But the less I see that so less now that like I feel like he's turning around for the better.
Kim, you're exactly right.
Happier for him. Like he's married, everything's good. Fucking anytime a troll shows up.
Kim, you're right, because like Wings should just leave the internet and become a normal person. I feel that is something that he could do. I do not think he is addicted to the attention like Boogie is. Because people always ask me, it's like, what do you foresee Boogie doing to like fix himself and to get better? And I always said, if Boogie was to fix himself and get better, me and you would never know about it, because the main thing he would need to do is get off the internet. And that's not me trying to say he needs to get off the internet. I want him driven off the internet. Nothing like that. Boogie is addicted to the attention. He's addicted to being a victim. He gets that by staying online and getting ass pats. He'll start drama. People talk about him. He just likes see like people are commenting on him, and then he can do a Sammy Shield. Then he can do the Boogie cycle afterwards, and he gets people ass patting, going like, you're so good for dropping the drama like that. You're such a good person. Oh, I've looked up to you since I was 6 years old. And that is just all he cares about. That is all he needs. As long as he makes enough money from YouTube to be able to pay for sugar babies, that is all he cares about. So the only way he would ever actually get better, fix like his narcissistic tendencies, improve his life, probably be happy, like actually be happy, is to find love and affection in real life with like friends. Because he showed his friends. I have loads of friends. Spend time with them. Then spend time with them, dude. Instead of like making out the people online are like I've been very consistent saying the people who watch me, sorry to be mean to you guys, but you're not my friends. Boogie acts like they're his friends, that his like ride or die fans, you're like my friends, and then he calls his trolls parasocial, even though Boogie fosters a parasocial relationship with his like core fan base.
On his page, he's just like shitting on them. Fucking no.
This is the thing with us and also with the audience. I think like obviously there is like a certain pleasure that we take in like watching Boogie's fuck ups. Like it's entertainment undoubtedly, but that doesn't mean that when someone like Wings starts to improve his life that we're gonna shit on him and discourage it. Like there will be another person to come along and take his place.
All the crying faces rip for you boys.
To be there. If any of these guys are gonna improve their life, I think that's a really good thing. And I would like to see Boogie at this point. I'm honestly sick of seeing him just be a fuck up. I want to see him just figure the fuck out. He's getting a little old for this shit.
None of you are my friends.
He's a little old for this.
The other day he wrote me and he goes, this whole thing with Muda has been so hard, but you can really see how far I've come because I haven't threatened to kill myself once yet. And I'm like,
that's true though.
I really hope that's not real. I really genuinely hope that's not, and that is just Nick taking the piss. Because if so, that is insane. But I think he hasn't threatened like that in a while now. I think like. I don't think he's like talked about like that kind of thought in a while, which I guess is good, because that is like the most manipulative he can be. But the biggest problem is that even if he isn't talking about it now, anytime you call him, it's like, why didn't you pay off your house? Well, I was going to end myself. Okay, well, why did you invest in crypto? I was going to end myself. Why did you spend $200,000 in sugar babies? Well, I was going to end myself. So like he's still using it. He's just not saying I'm currently feeling that right now, which is better. But it's still annoying. He still is using it as an excuse, but like for years ago,
I'm still waiting for that.
I guess you have improved. I'm sorry you had to come at like this circumstance.
Yeah, I'm sorry that like this one extreme thing that you do isn't happening. This is the thing that like this is what I dislike about it the most. It's like he wants like my approval so bad that he talks about this constantly, and I'm like, dude, if you want my approval, just be a good guy. Just quit the fucking compulsive lying. Quit the fucking snarky, passive aggressive, fake Mr. Rogers attitude.
Yep.
And that's fine. Like, I gotta remind this guy, I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, we're all East Coasters here. We're a fucking blunt group of people, all right? People like Boogie piss us all off, all right? But if you're real, if you're true and honest, all right, then that's all we care about. Just be normal, Boogie. Be a good guy.
We're tough. We're from the hood, Boogie, okay?
All right,
we keep it real.
All right, we're fucking 6 months out of the year is inhabitable where we live, Boogie. Come on now. Fucking grow up.
That is true, though. I with the internet, like, obviously we are commentary guys, so we criticize and shit on people. But if somebody's being honest, there's not much you can say, right? You can't drag it on forever. Like with someone like Ice Poseidon in his crypto thing, that was horrible, but he didn't exactly hide from it, right? He didn't exactly go run and hide. He was just like, I did it. And then everyone talked about it for like a day, and then they shut the fuck up. When you lie, it becomes so much worse.
There was no like financial issues for him either. He got right through that, which was kind of crazy to me, but... Yeah, when you give people something to latch onto and there's blood in the water, the sharks will surround you. If you,
I feel like we've got the wind time, but it's 20 minutes left off it.
Kind of just brush it off.
Because I'm just kind of sitting here nodding away, being like, okay.
Piece of shit like Ice Poseidon. You can have like a.
I mean, Destiny talks about this. He talks about like, listen, when you're going through shit, start the stream. The first day is going to be hard. The next day is going to be a little better. And the next day is going to be a little better, right? And like,
is that how he explains it every single time he fucks an orbiter and then the BPD girl like, worth of drama?
Those are always hilarious.
He probably enjoys that at this point.
Oh god, generally they're always hilarious. I never really followed like Destiny until it was like, what was her name? Lux or something like that. I can't remember what Laz Luna or something like that. Some like orbiter girl of Destiny's like I think he fucked her and she went like absolutely mental and it was genuinely fucking hilarious. It was so funny.
Part of the hunt.
I mean,
great.
the first episode was a pretty smashing success, I would say. 100,000 views is like, what else could you ask
It's
for?
good views. I think
the
it's
audience response has been interesting, and I'm curious how like all the clip channels are gonna feel about this. Like, because there's Boogie clippers, there's like DSP clippers. Obviously, DSP's not on the show.
There's not really Boogie clippers. That's the thing. You know, like I don't really think there's like Boogie clippers. There's like exposing Boogie 299, but I don't think he really uploads like anymore. And he likes to clip stuff that just makes Boogie look like literally Hitler. That's all he cares about clipping. Like who else? Seethan Stevens. I think he does. I think he posts up like Boogie clips and stuff like that. But it's not like that common from what I know. So I think those are the only people who like Seethan Stevens. I think those are the only people who like clip. It's not like it's like actually like a big thing with Boogie, you know.
There's Wings clippers. How are they going to do like this? Are they going to like clip each person's perspective and start posting that? In, like,
it's going to cause collaborations between the clip channels, dude.
We could pull a fucking Dark Viper and just strike them all down.
Can we talk about that? Because I don't exactly.
That's a joke, by the way. We love you, clippers.
I like.
That's a joke.
We're big fans of what was it, Dick Stroking Phil?
Dick Stroking
Phil.
We love
you, bro.
This is a joke. But I want to talk about this Dark Viper thing. What happened with Dark Viper? He copyright.
Dark Viper is such a fucking pussy. He like goes around and he pretends that he's this. He's like the Lorax.
You see more DSP clippers. That's because there's loads more DSP clippers than there are Boogie clippers. Because there's like one Boogie clipper. But even like Duty clips sometimes. But like anytime I've ever seen him talk about Boogie, he does commentary over. It's not like a clip. You know? I don't think Boogie clipping's really a thing. Honest to God, I think I'm like one of only 3 people that like watches Boogie's live streams. Outside of his actual fan base, I genuinely think I'm like one of only 3 people who actually watches live streams. Like, I never see people talk about what he says in his live streams. And what he says in his live streams is just generally the most frustrating shit because it's like an hour and a half of just pure fucking nonsense.
For the video essays,
The
you know
Lorax?
what I mean? He's like, I speak for the YouTubers. All these streamers are coming in. They're anti-content. They're stealing our shit. They're making tons of money off of our hard work. And then, dude, somebody made fun of him in a video, and he fucking DMCA'd his stream down and his fucking edited recording down.
I've only heard
I've
only heard about this like Dark Viper guy briefly because I saw him talking about it, but I don't really know anything about him. I think it was him and Chud Logic. I think it was who I've heard of as well, but I never really watched Chud Logic because I'm not really into the debate bro kind of shit. It's just none of that's interested me.
So I don't know about the DMCA stuff. What, like, did they just play an entire Dark Viper video?
No, so what happened is in this like 4 hour, well, I guess, yeah, they played his 9-minute stream clip going over the situation that happened with, basically Dark Viper made a video about Jack's films because you know how he's like the React guy, right? Right now with Sniper Wolf and all the stuff that's going on there. Dark Viper was like, well, do you feel bad to him that like Jack is being looked at so positively and they called you, Dark Viper, crazy? And he was going through how it kind of sucks how all these people are regurgitating his arguments as if he's the first guy to ever talk about React content on fucking YouTube, which I think people
did he really have that level of like entitlement around like
I have to admit I don't really care about this too much. I'm going to skip through until we get to like our Lolcows. This isn't DMCA strikes and stuff like that and people I don't know about and not really overly fussed on, so we'll kind of skip through. Unless like, I broke it.
That's Transformers.
35.
35.
And dude, yeah,
you want to
fight this, that's fine. This is the most anti-content bullshit
company, right? Or this organization. And it turned out that they were taking in money. They were spending like thousands to tens of thousands.
30 grand, 20 grand, 11
some
grand.
Years up to 20.
Okay, so this is the completionist banking fraud thing.
9,000, 28.
That's pretty interesting. I've watched all the videos on it so far. They're pretty good.
Any of it since their foundation to any charity. So when you watch the Indieland streams, Gerard would sit there and be like, hey, your money is going to the families that are suffering from Alzheimer's, or, you know, this.
So tell us, yeah, I've seen people complain. I mentioned that briefly because like generally, because that's obviously what I'm doing right now is I'm watching this pretty much in its entirety. I'm skipping parts off it that I'm not really interested in, but I'm trying to provide commentary. It's one of those things that I struggle with because I am obviously someone who reacts. I react to like Foodie Beauty, I react to Chantel, I've reacted to some Boogie stuff before. I'm talking about this, I react to the box match. So I obviously do reaction content as well. I generally try and don't watch the reaction content. This is, like I said, I wanted to do this because this is the other half of the Lolcow bit. With the Lolcow bit, I might do reaction to the Lolcow bit in general, but I might not do it to the farmer bit because there's less to talk about in the farmer bit, you know? So that's kind of my mentality. I always find it weird when I watch like people on Twitch because I don't really use Twitch anymore. But I used to watch like people on Twitch, some VTubers and stuff like that, and so many of them would just sit down and they'd watch like an internet historian video, and it's just like, what is the point of just sitting there watching like an internet historian video? Because like it's an actually great fun video. You know, it's an actual good, fun video that everyone should sit down and watch and actually support. So it is so weird when you see someone like sit down and like upload on YouTube like a reaction that gets 1 million views of them pretty much watching. I remember because I saw it around the time when the Sunny V2 video came out in Boogie. I saw people do like reaction content, and like the Sunny V2 video, for example, was like 12 minutes and 13 seconds long. I saw people who were uploading reactions to it that were 12 minutes and 14 seconds long. I was like, how the fuck are you like, how are you doing a reaction that is the same length and implies you didn't even pause it once? I watch people sit there and just like play, like hit play at the start of the video, stare and go like, whoa, that's crazy, bro. Oh, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. Oh, it's bro, it's crazy. And then you get to the end off and they go like, yeah, it's a good video. And that was it. That's their entire reaction. Like people saying, it's friend simulation shit, which I just find fucking weird, you know? But I don't know, maybe that's what I'm doing right now. You're all just sitting here chilling, watching me do this shit. But it's just like when you're sitting there just watching. It's like when Pokemon sat there and just watched Avatar The Last Airbender. It's like, why would you sit there and just watch it with her? If you want to watch it, why don't you just fucking watch Avatar The Last Airbender? why do you sit there and just watch it with Pokemon so everyone can hear her go, whoa, oh my god, that's crazy! Every once in a while, like, what's the fucking point of that? You're just building a Gundam. That's a great way to use your time. I've got a bunch of Gunpla. Like, I even got, like, Gunpla, like, genuinely, I have boxes of Gunpla that I got in Japan when I went last, which was 2019, I think. Maybe, yeah, it was right before COVID hit. So, like, I was like, I actually have boxes of Gunpla. I haven't even, because, like, that was, like, before, like, my last house move and shit like that. So, they're just chilling there. I haven't even touched them yet. But I've also got, like, piles of, like, Warhammer I haven't built recently. You know, I've been stuck with a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Dylan, mate, how are you? It's 2 a.m. I'm just chilling. Well, it's not 2 a.m. It's, like, 20 minutes still.
So-and-so charity. Like, there would be charities listed by name, like the University of California, San Francisco.
Just tune in for lectures.
Or UCSF. You also had, like, the Alzheimer's Foundation. I think there were 2 different named ones. There were actual named beneficiaries, but none of them got the money because the tax filing showed no money left. So, as of right now, based on the filings, the money appears to be just sitting in the account, right? So, for, like, basically...
Yeah, didn't the company try and do a privacy complaint against, not Muda, but the guy he did the video with? Like, apparently they went and they did they tried to do a privacy complaint against it, but YouTube denied the privacy complaint, which is crazy, like, you know? Talking about Gundam and VTubers. Well, at least it's not anime. Anime, that would be fucking multiple hour-long stream. I haven't actually watched any anime recently. I just haven't. I've been so busy just with my fucking real life. You know, it's one of those things where I'm working a lot. I'm out a lot. I'm hanging out with people a lot. All that kind of shit. And then I come back, and then I'm just like, I don't know, when I'm walking fucking goobs, I have like a podcast on or something like that. And I'm like time stamping. You know, I just like screenshot my phone screen anytime there's a note, and then I go back and I have to check the timestamps to see what notes I want to take and shit like that.
8 to 10 fucking years, people are
Donna, thank you very much.
Their money went.
Night Irishman and y'all, much love, UK. Thank you very much, Donna. Have a good sleep. It is nearly 2 a.m. So have a good sleep. Thank you very much for the super chat.
To a charity or to help fight against Alzheimer's, when in reality the money might as well not have been donated.
I'm going to skip through because, like I said, we're kind of done talking about our. Did you say Sailor Moon?
I had a whole unrecorded call where I had that whole unrecorded call.
He could go jerk himself off in his Sailor Moon costume.
I had a.
There you go, Sailor Moon. That's a shout out for you. Just as you popped up on my screen there, you can jerk off Sailor Moon costume. That's Pro Jared. I know they're talking about the Pro Jared thing because Pro Jared is most. I think I said something like that. He didn't want his Sailor Moon costume to be the most embarrassing thing he's ever posted online. That's why he posted his tweet calling them out, even though he never actually watched the fucking video.
A whole unrecorded call where Gerard's like, "What?"
We're really disgusted when I found out there was going to be a Creator Clash 3. And I don't think...
I feel like we're going through our Lolcows. So, it's pretty late at night. So I think we're going to end it here, guys. We've gone through our Lolcows. If you're interested in hearing them talk about, like, the Creator Clash, which I'm not overly interested in, or Dark Viper, which is not really my bag, or them going further into the drama regarding the charity stuff, go watch. Just go and give them a view anyway. Like I said, I like this. This has been better than the actual Lolcow segment of it because Wings didn't really talk. Tommy C was okay, but I think he pandered to Boogie too much, and Boogie honestly was just Boogie, unfortunately, which wasn't overly entertaining to watch. But I think we are going to end it here. It is heading towards 2 a.m. Appreciate everyone coming out. I think we had a lot of fun. What about the dog extended stuff? God, what the? Oh, that makeup artist. Oh, nah, it's a Francis skit, basically. It's Boogie deliberately going in to try and mess around and, play a character, and I was being Andy Kaufman. I don't think it's actually going to be fun to watch. It's because it is just going to be a Francis skit, and it's like nearly 8 minutes long, so I think it'll take a wee while to get. So, yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Have fun. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.